The first meeting of the season tonight between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the YD Red Sox. The first of a home-and-home series on the 3rd and 4th of July here in the middle of the summer of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. Tonight we are at McKeon Park in Hyannis, Massachusetts for the first of this set between the Harbor Hawks and the Red Sox. Hello everybody and welcome. I'm Brian McLaughlin. Alongside me, Andre Sims. Andre, a great opportunity tonight for the Red Sox over these last two here against the last place Harbor Hawks. They can really gain some ground in the Eastern Division where YD currently comes in second in the division.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you look at these last couple of games for the Red Sox, very uncharacteristic, getting absolutely shut down at Chatham, and then just sort of an awkward, grinded out win yesterday. And so for this team, this is an opportunity to regain some of their offensive identity. The big inning, the crooked inning, Hyannis nearly given up 2 runs for every 1 they've scored this season. And so for a team that is kind of scuffling offensively relative to what they're capable of versus a team who has just struggled across the board pitching, this seems like a golden opportunity for YD to break out.
On the pitching side of things, Jack Leftwich takes the bump for YD again this evening. He'll go up against Kyle Murphy from Northeastern on the other side of things for the Harbor Hawks. Leftwich last time out was really good, Andre. You and I had the call. He went 5+ against Harwich, only gave up 1 earned run on a solo home run. A weird kind of stat. He's only given up solo home runs for runs so far this season, looking to maybe avoid the long ball tonight, but keep on the right foot.
Yeah, I mean, and there again, this is another opportunity for him to continue to build off that positive momentum. This is an offense that has been struggling, doesn't hit for a ton of power, and is last in a bunch of categories. And when you have your leadoff hitter in your lineup hitting 111, and it's not just a 1 for 9, it's a 4 for 36, there's an opportunity here for Jack Leftwich, who, like you said, pitched very well against Harwich, to continue to build, continue to be positive, and really get himself a strong start and put this YD team in an early position to win.
Offensively then for the Red Sox, last night it was Wyatt Young with a big RBI hit. Austin Wells had a couple of knocks as well. And then Tate Samuelson, the solo shot in a 3-1 victory yesterday for YD. What are you looking for offensively for a team that started so hot, has cooled off a hair as of late, but still has names from top to bottom that can get it done?
I'm looking at the bottom of the order here. And we talked about it in the early parts of this season that they were getting production from anywhere. Now that the lineup has sort of settled into, we know who's going to be where, a lot of that has changed. It's becoming a very top-heavy lineup. 1 through 5 was fantastic, but Scott Pickler hasn't been getting a lot of production from 6 through 9 in this order. And so I look at guys like Samuelson, Brad Beasley, Jake Palmer, RJ Yeager in the 6 through 9 holes. What can they do in this one against the struggling pitching staff? This is an opportunity for them, as much as the top half of the order, to really make a statement.
For Hyannis, you mentioned the struggling staff. They have really, you can't put it mildly, struggled to get outs this season. They have a 3-13-1 record, last place in the league with just 7 points. They come in with an ERA that is 2.3 runs higher than Falmouth, who's in 9th place in ERA. It's a pitching staff that struggled. Kyle Murphy with an 11.11 ERA taking the mounds tonight. How does he try to attack and get Hyannis' staff on the right track?
It's got to be avoiding the walks, free base runners. This is a YD team that really capitalizes on gifts. And if you're stringing together 2, 3, 4 walks in an inning, that's just asking for this offense to turn the lineup over multiple times, get to them early and often. So he's got to attack these hitters. Can't go right at him necessarily, considering the fact of how potent this top of the order is, but you can't afford to nibble, end up with a couple free passes an inning, because this YD offense is too good to not take advantage of that today.
It's Hyannis and YD in the first of a home-and-home set on the 3rd and 4th of July. We'll have the starting lineups and the first pitch for you coming up next when we return. This is Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back here at McKeon Park in Hyannis, Massachusetts, the Harbor Hawks are out on the field. Kyle Murphy on the hill for the Harbor Hawks this evening. Murphy, his first start for Hyannis on the bump this season. He's appeared in 3 games in 5 2/3 innings. He has an 11.11 ERA on the mound. The righty is 6'2", 230 pounds from Northeastern. Here's the Red Sox lineup he'll be facing off with against this evening. Wyatt Young leads off. He has a 5-game hitting streak from Pepperdine. Noah Campbell, the switch hitter, bats second in left field. Austin Wells in the 3 spot from Arizona. He's catching tonight. Riley King is in the cleanup hole. Jack Wold, designated hitter this evening. He bats 5th. Tate Samuelson with the home run last night from Cal Poly bats 5th. Brad Beasley from Cal Poly bats 7th. Jake Palmer is in the 8th spot from UC Irvine, and R.J. Yeager is in the 9 hole from Mercer. Yeager is at second base. Young digs in the leadoff spot. That's where he's been the last few outings for YD. Has emerged as the team's starting shortstop and hitting 6th, or rather 2nd in the Cape League in hitting so far this season. First pitch to Young. Fastball misses outside for ball 1. Young hitting 372, the 1-0. Another fastball misses high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Young, the 5'7", 165-pound middle infielder, the 2-0. Fastball misses just high and away, and it's quickly 3 balls and no strikes. Only 3 walks in 5 2/3 innings for Murphy. From the stretch, here's the 3-0. Fastball misses just upstairs to Young, and it's a leadoff walk on just 4 pitches to Young.
And this is exactly what I was talking about in the open, Brian. These are the things that you can't afford to have happen with a lineup this potent. Wyatt Young with speed on first base, a guy who can handle the bat, batting from his better side up to the plate right now, and Noah Campbell. Already a recipe for disaster.
Defense for the Harbor Hawks. Left fielder Trevor Hoover. Rowdy Jordan's in center, and Rigsby Mosley roams right field. Young on first. We're scoreless in the top of the first. Nobody down. First pitch to Noah Campbell. This is outside for ball 1. 5 straight balls to begin Murphy's outing. Edward Julian's at third from Auburn. Anthony Servieto is at shortstop. Lucas Dunn at second, and Brooks Carlson is the first baseman. Chad McDaniel does the catching. Campbell, the switch hitter, steps back into the batter's box. It's 1-0. The pitch. Campbell takes a called strike. The fastball catches the outer edge to Campbell from the left side. A ball and a strike. Campbell hitting .323, a couple of home runs for YD. Both the long balls from his left side. Here's the 1-1. Line drive, back up the middle. It's a base hit right over the second base bag. The throw's going to come into third. Young only advances up to second base on the sharply hit single by Noah Campbell. First 2 men are aboard for YD here against Kyle Murphy, and that brings up Austin Wells with still nobody out, men on first and second. Early opportunity for Wells, hitting .304, leads the team with 12 RBIs. Wells just finished his freshman year at Arizona. He's the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. Murphy sets at the chest. His first pitch to Wells, off the plate inside. 1-0. YD looking to jump out on Hyannis here in the top of the first. Riley King on deck. A ball, no strikes to Wells. Here's the pitch. Fastball hit in the air, pretty deep left field. Hoover turns. He's racing back on it. He's at the track. He looks up. It's gone. Austin Wells, a 3-run shot to left. Opposite field long ball, and it's 3-0 YD in the first. A league high 5th of the year for Austin Wells.
That might be one of the most impressive home runs Austin Wells has hit this season. No cheapie the other way, and not even really left center field, truly to left field, clearing it with ease for the 3-run shot.
Nobody out, and it's 3-0 YD in the top of the first. A nightmare start for Kyle Murphy on the mound. A walk, a single, and a home run. Before he could blink an eye, it's 3-0. A first pitch breaking ball dips below the knees to Riley King. Home plate umpire today, Frank Auditore. Ronaldo Cockrum's at first, and Mike Rabideau mans third base. The 1-0. Another breaking ball, this one on the inner half. It's a called strike to King, 1-1.
And there again, the leadoff walk comes back to bite.
Here's the 1-1. Fastball fouled off by King at the plate. Got a piece of his ankle. He's going to limp up the first baseline, trying to walk it off. 1-2 to King. King hitting .333 with a double. It's his only extra base hit. Batting with the bases clear, it's 3-0 YD here in the top of the first. King from the right side. Murphy with the 1-2. Chopped foul up the first baseline. Still a ball and 2 strikes to King. Jack Wold on deck for YD. They are looking at a big inning. The 1-2. Misses down and away to King. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Already 3 runs across for the Red Sox. In a team that has scored the second most runs in the Cape League. It's been licking their chops, looking to face this Hyannis staff. The 2-2. Ground ball left side. Over to field at the third baseman. Julian in the hole. Throws to first in time to get King for the first out here in the top of the first inning. You have to think, Andre, the way YD has hit the ball without even facing the Harbor Hawks here, as this is finally the first time these two teams meet up. They see that 6.88 ERA for this Harbor Hawks staff and have to be thinking, here's another shot to score a bunch of runs. First pitch misses down and into Wold.
Yeah, it's got to be on paper probably the most strength versus weakness matchup on the Cape, especially with the power that this team possesses as well.
Swing and a miss by Wold on the 1-0. It's a ball and a strike.
And it's one of those things where you almost wonder if they're putting too much pressure on themselves because of the fact that they're expected to score a bunch of runs. They're expected to hit the ball hard, but very clearly early on that doesn't show. They're not taking unnecessary swings.
1-1 breaking ball hits the top part of the strike zone. A ball and 2 strikes.
They're being patient. They're waiting for their pitches, and through 4 at-bats, they're capitalizing on them, and that's why it's 3-0 already.
The 1-2. Fastball misses at the eyes to Wold. That fastball command has evaded Murphy. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wold's hitting .298. He does have a home run this season for YD, but it's been quite some time since that long ball. The 2-2 skips in the dirt, and it's full. That home run coming all the way back on opening day against the Katuitt Kettleers. They are currently in first place in the Western Division. A whole 13 points ahead of these Harbor Hawks. The 3-2 fouled off by Wold towards the Harbor Hawks dugout at the third base line, and we'll see another one from Murphy. It's a 3-run home run for Austin Wells that has YD out in front 3-0 in the first inning. Murphy from the stretch, the 3-2, hitting the air pretty deep to center field. That's chasing Jordan back. He's nearing the fence. He's there, and he makes the catch. Jordan onto the warning track, deep into left center field. He turned and ran, and he was able to chase it down for the second out here in the first.
A lot of loud contact here off of Kyle Murphy, the Northeastern product.
The first baseman, Cal Poly.
You wonder how long of a leash he's going to have if this trend continues.
Now Tate Samuelson, he had a home run yesterday. It was the deciding run in their 3-1 victory. First pitch grounded right back on a hop to Murphy. He gloves it. Will underhand to first for the third out of the frame. But YD strikes first with 3 in the top of the first. A walk, a single, and a 3-run blast by Austin Wells has them on top, 3-0 after a half. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Order your favorite
3-0 YD as we enter the bottom half of the first inning. YD gets a 3-run home run from Austin Wells to begin their night against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, giving Jack Leftwich some room to work with on the mound. The Florida man has a 1-0 record on the season for YD and a 4.35 ERA. The lineup that the Harbor Hawks will throw at Leftwich, led off by Anthony Servideo from Ole Miss. Lucas Dunn out of Louisville bats second. Trevor Hauver is in the 3 spot from Arizona State. Jared Desentol, that's in the cleanup spot. Rowdy Jordan is in the 5 spot. Rigsby Mosley bats 6th. Here's the first pitch of the night from Leftwich. It's a first pitch fastball for a called strike to Anthony Servideo. Edward Julian is the third baseman batting 7th. Chad McDaniel 8th. And Brooks Carlson bats 9th. The 0-1 fastball notches the inner edge to the left-handed hitting Servideo. Strike 2, quickly 0-2 from Leftwich on the mound. Leftwich from the winds fires the 0-2. Fastball just misses outside. A ball and 2 strikes. Leftwich with 12 strikeouts on the season. The 1-2, foul tip into the dirt. Got a piece of Wells. Staying alive, Servideo. Servideo just 4 for 36 for a 111 batting average to begin this season atop the order for Hyannis. An open stance, low crouch. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Jack Leftwich blows a fastball by him, and that's the first out here in the bottom of the first. YD on top, 3-0. Struck quickly in the top of the first inning.
The second baseman from Louisville, number 16, Lucas Dunn.
Defense here for YD. Noah Campbell's in left field tonight. Brad Beasley in center and Jake Palmer from UC Irvine in right field. It's Riley King and Wyatt Young on the left side of the infield. RJ Yeagers at second and Tate Samuelson at first. First pitch misses inside to Lucas Dunn all the way to the backstop past Austin Wells for ball 1. Wells does the catching for Leftwich tonight, giving his battery mate the early 3-run lead. Here's the 1-0. Dunn fouls it off up the first baseline, out of play. 1-1 to Dunn. He's hitting .250. Yet to get an extra base hit. He has 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. A ball and a strike. Here's the pitch. Grounded softly at the third base line. King rounds, charges, throws on the run to first in time. A fine play by Riley King. Had to field on the run and throw, and he retires Lucas Dunn for the second out here in the first.
Now batting for Hyannis, the left fielder from Arizona State.
2 quick outs from Jack Leftwich on the mound. YD on top, 3-0. We're in the bottom of the first. Trevor Hauver takes the plate now for the Harbor Hawks from Arizona State. The Sun Devil in left field tonight for Hyannis. He's hitting .231 with 1 home run for the Harbor Hawks. Leftwich, the first pitch to Hauver. Fastball called strike on the outer edge. YD in their red uniforms tonight, red caps, blue numbers, white pants with a pinstripe down the side. Hyannis, home whites, blue pinstripes, orange numbers. The 0-1 misses down low to Hauver, a ball and a strike. Leftwich brings the 1-1. Swing and a miss. That was the breaking ball from Leftwich, and it's a ball and 2 strikes now to Hauver.
Leftwich sitting with a fastball in the low 90s, around 90, 91, then spins in that off-speed pitch at 82. There's a lot of deception there.
The 1-2, hit in the air, right center field. Beasley trotting over. The center fielder comes in a few steps, and he makes the catch. A clean 1-2-3 for Leftwich in the first. 3-0 Red Sox. After 1, this is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the second, YD on top, 3-0 over Hyannis. It's the bottom third of the order for YD here in the second inning. Beasley, Palmer, and Yeager all set to face Kyle Murphy on the mound for his second inning of work. The righty from Northeastern, first pitch to Beasley. Drilled in the air, pretty deep left field. That will chase Hoover back again. He's nearing the fence, a little leap, and he makes the catch. Hoover crashes into the fence out in left field. He turned and ran this one down. Beasley gave it a ride, but it's a loud first out here in the second. Couple times YD has hit the ball really hard for outs now. On top, 3-0. Austin Wells cleared the yard with a 3-run shot in the first. We're in the top of the second. Now Jake Palmer. First pitch breaking ball skips in the dirt. Ball 1 to Palmer. Seems like they're really squaring up Murphy, Andre.
Yeah, they definitely are seeing it well. Not a lot of deception here. Isn't hiding the ball very well, and they are just absolutely teeing off. And there again, but swinging at the right pitches, not just swinging because they know they can.
The 1-0. Fastball right at the top of the zone. A called strike to Palmer, 1-1. Palmer 2 for 14 so far for YD. He's in right field tonight. We've seen him in center and left as well. The 1-1. Palmer squares the bunt, pushes it foul up the third baseline. Looking to lay one down for a base hit with nobody on. But now he's down a ball and 2 strikes. Palmer had a great year at the top of the order for the UC Irvine Anteaters. The 1-2. Breaking ball misses low in the dirt, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Has struggled to get into the swing of things here for YD. Palmer hit above 300 for the Anteaters this spring season. Murphy sets the 2-2. Fastball fouled back by Palmer. We'll see another 2-2. Jake's older brother, Grant, also played baseball for UC Irvine from 2014 to 2017. So their careers just did not overlap, as Jake's first year for Irvine was in 2018. The 2-2 misses down and away, and the count is full with 1 down. Three to nothing Red Sox, top of the second. Yeager on deck. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Palmer. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air, third base line. It's in foul territory. Over to look at it is Julian. He runs out of room. It falls out of play. Good amount of foul space here at McKeon Park. Especially towards either dugout. It gets narrower and narrower as you go up the line towards the foul poles. Palmer sets back in from the left side. We'll see another 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Fastball, check, swing, foul ball. Palmer just stays alive.
Yeah, good battle here from Jake Palmer. And it's hard when, because if you look at this YD lineup, it's starting to really become a consistent lineup. You're seeing the same guys in the same places, different positions, obviously, due to the versatility. But you kind of know day in and day out who's going to be there. And for Palmer, it hasn't been that. It's been very much a platoon.
3-2 misses down low, and it's ball 4, and Palmer draws his 5th walk. He's aboard with 1 out.
It feels like almost like a spot start situation, as you would see for a pitcher, where on any given day, all of a sudden it's like, hey, you're in the lineup. And that's tough when you aren't getting the at-bats day to day. You can't really settle into a rhythm. Like you said, only 14 at-bats on the year. So good sign for him to put in a quality at-bat like that and end up with a walk.
How do you try to stay loose then if you're one of those guys getting those spot starts? As R.J. Yeager's at the plate, hit and run. Palmer takes off, and the hit goes into right field. Yeager pokes it through the right side. Palmer moves up to third base easily, and the hit and run utilized to perfection by the bottom of the order. As 2 guys who have had those kind of platoon starts get it done for Scott Pickler here in the second.
And that's exactly what Scott Pickler wants to see. And to your question, Brian, it's really about, one, internal motivation, still trusting in the fact that, yeah, I might not be getting the at-bats right now, but if I do get the at-bats, I can make something of them. And that's the biggest thing. This game is 80% mental. And so if you're on the bench kind of sulking, wondering why am I not getting at bats, you're not going to be able to take advantage. But if you stay ready, that seems like the proverbial term to stay ready, then you can come through in opportunities.
First pitch to Wyatt Young at the top of the order is a called strike on a breaking ball. YD leads 3-0. They have men on the corners with one out. RJ Yeager just perfectly executed the hit and run with a soft single through the right side. Jake Palmer, who had a one-out walk, is over on third. 0-1 count to Young. Pick off on first. Yeager's back easily.
And that really was a perfectly executed hit and run with Jake Palmer running on the pitch. And we've seen RJ Yeager struggle at times handling the bat in the box. We've seen Scott Pickler try to lay down a few squeezes with him in the box, but that time reached out, just poked it right where the second baseman was leaving from.
Julian weighing on the grass at third base for Young. Another check on first, maybe sniffing out another potential squeeze opportunity here. Good speed with Palmer on third, and Young can handle it at the plate. Wyatt Young, second in the league in hitting, just behind Nick Gonzalez. A walk and a run already today. The 0-1. He squares the bunt, but he pops it up. First base side, foul territory. A sliding catch is made by Brooks Carlson.
Brooks Carlson at first
Young
base.
pops up the bunt, and there's the second out in the second inning for YD at the plate. Nice catch by Carlson on the bunt from Young.
The left fielder from South Carolina, number 14, Noah Campbell.
Quickly going to be a visit out here on the mound before Noah Campbell takes the plate for YD. Campbell already singled and scored in the second inning. Scored on the Austin Wells blast to left. Still runners on the corners. 2 outs for YD, but Hyannis on the verge of getting out of this jam. There's a little bit of action in the Harbor Hawks bullpen. Nobody throwing, but some guys are up and stretching. Campbell, the switch hitter, will stay from the left side against the righty. Campbell gets in the box. Murphy sets in the mound. He delivers. Swing and a miss by Campbell. 0-1. 3-0 YD, 2 outs. Campbell, who was so clutch last year for the Red Sox, team MVP, almost won the league MVP. Check on first. Yeager slides back head first. And has continued that success after a slow year for South Carolina in the SEC. Campbell just turns it on when he gets on to Cape Cod. The 0-1. Misses low. Great block behind the plate by Chad McDaniel, holding Palmer at third. A ball and a strike to Campbell. Chokes up just a hair on the bat. The pitch. A curved ball is a called strike on the outer edge. 2 strikes now to Campbell. Sun's starting to set here in Hyannis. Another check on first. Yeager's back. Currently, we are in the shade, just barely up the first baseline. The majority of the playing field still highlighted by the sun. Left field corner and Trevor Hauver in left, covered in some shadows. Runner goes. The pitch is hit softly on the ground by Campbell, left side. Charging at the shortstop, Servideo. His throw to first in time to get Campbell. Almost another hit and run executed by the Red Sox, but Servideo bails out Murphy on the mound. YD strands 2 in the second. It's 3-0 Red Sox. We'll head to the home half of the second when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the second, 3-0. The Mighty Red Sox lead the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Jack Leftwich takes the mound against the meat of the Hyannis order after a 1-2-3 first. He'll face DeSantelo, Jordan, and Moskey here as we begin, Mosley rather, as we begin the second inning. Leftwich, the tall righty from the windup against DeSantelo from Florida Atlantic. First pitch notches the outer edge for a called strike, 0-1. DeSantelo has probably had the most success of any Harbor Hawk hitter this season, hitting .351, the 0-1. Grounded right back on a hop to Leftwich. He fields, will run, and lollipop an underhand toss to Samuelson at first for the first out here in the second. 4 up, 4 down from Leftwich on the mound. He seems to be locked in here, Andre, through an inning and now 1/3.
Yeah, just continuing where he left off after the start against Harwich, in which he was absolutely locked in a pitcher's duel in that one, and seems to have definitely settled in here on the Cape.
Rowdy Jordan, the switch hitter from Missouri, next to face Leftwich. He takes a first pitch called strike. Jordan 0 for his first 17 here out of Mississippi State. The 0-1 fouled back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes now to Jordan.
Fans, you did keep that foul ball tonight. Thanks to our friends at Accidental Auto Body.
Jordan had a pretty good year for Mississippi State, so they know he can hit. 290 average, 6 home runs for the Bulldogs. He takes the 0-2 just high and away, 1-2. So they know he can hit here in Hyannis. It's just a matter of time. Has just arrived after getting eliminated in the College World Series by Louisville. A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch, softly hit right side, charging at the second baseman Yeager. He fires to first in time to get Jordan just outside the reach of Leftwich on the mound, and he has 5 straight set down to begin this start on the mound against the Harbor Hawks.
The right fielder from Troy, number 12, Rigsby Mosley.
2 outs, Rigsby Mosley to the plate out of Troy. The right fielder also hits from the left side against Leftwich. Still from the wind, 3-0 Red Sox. Bottom of the second inning. First pitch to Mosley. Sharply lined foul ball. Down the left field line, out of play. 0-1 to Mosley. He does have 1 home run this year for Hyannis, hitting .243. Lightly colored brown bat on his back shoulder, the 0-1. Flared on the infield. Leftwich wants it in between the pitcher's mound and first base, and he makes the catch. Jack Leftwich is cruising. 2 quick innings to start on the mound. 3-0 Red Sox. We're through 2 innings here in Hyannis. We'll be back for the third. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Number 16, Austin Wells.
Top of the third inning here from McKeon Park in Hyannis, Massachusetts. Austin Wells will lead things off after hitting a 3-run shot in his first at-bat as the breaking ball drifts wide for a ball, 1-0. Austin Wells stepped up after Wyatt Young reached on a walk and Campbell singled through the middle and brought them all home happy. He just flings the bat all the way up into the netting, and that's why the netting is there, Brian. And it's 1-1.
Laughing about it a bit as he gets back into the batter's box. Probably going to hear about that from his teammates in the dugout. Good news is he can point to his 3-run homer in the first and say, you can't make fun of me until you hit 5 home runs and lead the league in long balls.
He's back in the box, bat in hand. The 1-1. That was an off-speed pitch that once again drifts wide, and it's 2-1. Kyle Murphy had a better inning in inning number 2. Still allowed a couple base runners to reach, but was able to get out of it. 2-1 is a breaking ball that dips low and out of the zone. 3-1. Hitters count here for Austin Wells as he looks to add to his already impressive day. 3-1. Big swing and a miss as he foul tips it into the glove. And it's the full count. Austin Wells was looking for more on that swing.
Yeah, he was looking for number 6, eyeing up the right field scoreboard with that swing.
Here's the payoff pitch. Chopped foul back to the backstop. And the count holds.
Of course, now with 2 strikes, though, he's going to be back on his approach, back up the middle. He has so much power. We've seen him homer a couple times to the opposite field this season, including his home run today.
Full count to Austin Wells. Riley King waits on deck. That one's smoked but fouled on the first base line. And once again, it's 3-2. Murphy, in his first start for Hyannis this season, has struggled. Already the 3 runs allowed. That one is skied into left field, this time in the yard. Hover comes over, and he'll make the play about 15 feet from the line for the first out of the inning. Now Riley King will step in. Grounded out to his opposite third baseman in his first at-bat.
Third baseman from the University of Georgia, number 4, Riley King.
Georgia Bulldog. Steps in, taps both sides of the plate. Batting from the right side in a slight crouch. First pitch on the way. Foul tipped at the plate, and it's 0-1.
Some of the best games are on.
0-1 the count to Riley King. Performed very well in his time with YD. Lays off the off-speed pitch. The appeal. He didn't go, says first base umpire Ronaldo Cockrum. So he steps back in, 1-1. 3 runs on 3 hits for YD in this one, all of course scoring on the Austin Wells home run. Mighty hack. And Riley King knows he missed that one.
A pitch to drive, that's for sure. And he, like Wells, took a big cut. Why not? I like the big swings. Base is empty. Try to get an extra base hit with less than 2 strikes.
Defense straight away. He skies that one foul over our heads, and it's still 1-2.
Now he's just trying to square it up.
Foul tipped again. And it's 1-2. Riley King steps back in, looking for his first hit of the ball game. 1-2 from Murphy. Good breaking balls. It drops in at the knees of King, and that's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, froze King at the plate. That's a great pitch. Probably the best pitch that we've seen Murphy throw so far. Absolutely just started it out of the zone, dropped it right in on the inner half, and that's Quick 2 outs here in the third for YD.
So Murphy looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game as Jack Wold steps in, the UNLV Rebel. As Murphy seems to be gaining confidence here in the third as he pumps in a first pitch fastball for a strike 0-1.
He's definitely settled in a little bit out on the mound after the rocky first.
The 0-1 is thrown about 58 feet, and it's 1-1.
I don't even know if it was 58 feet.
Might have been generous.
That was spiked.
Could have been closer to 55.
Somewhere in that range, that's for sure. And that was a fastball. Just didn't have the grip on that one.
1-1 now the count to Wold. Grounded back up the middle. Servideo will play it on a hop over to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Murphy. So the Red Sox go quietly here in the third. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Jack Leftwich back out for his third inning of work. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the third inning here. YD leads 3-0. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin with you as always. As we approach 4th of July here on Cape Cod.
Leading off the third inning for the Harbor Hawks.
I have already heard several rounds of fireworks going off near where I'm living, not far from here in Hyannis, as people are getting an early start to the festivities.
It is packed here on Cape Cod right now. If you're not here, it is so packed.
First pitch from Leftwich is off the plate inside, and it's 1-0 as Edward Julian steps in, the Auburn Tiger. 7, 8, and 9 here for Hyannis as Julian making his Harbor Hawk debut, just activated today. He looks at a fastball outside, 2-0.
This team's got a lot of guys who are in the College World Series. Lucas Dunn from Louisville, Rowdy Jordan from Mississippi State, Edward Julian here with Auburn.
2-0 pitch is a fastball in there for a called strike at 91, 2-1.
So a potential boost for them, especially in their lineup, getting a couple of those guys from Omaha now just trickling in 2 weeks into the season.
2-1. Another fastball in there, 2-2. And relative to how this Hyannis team started the year, they actually have been playing better. A tough situation when 3-7 in your last 10 is considered better, but that was how bad of a start they got off to as the two pitches skipped in the dirt and the count runs full. But so 3 wins in their last 7 games. They've been better offensively. They exploded for a good chunk of runs against Falmouth for their first win of the season about a week ago. They're playing better, so they're starting to figure it out. It's the 3-2 pitch. Waved at and misses. Julian lost the legs on that swing, and that's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, just fooled. Leftwich has it all working right now on the mound. And it's just not kind what he's doing to some of these batters right now. They are just off balance. Like you said, the struggles for Hyannis have lessened, but still a team really trying to find an identity at this point.
YD entered today minus 55 in run differential. Last in the Cape League. They've scored 65 runs this season and allowed 120. The 1-0 pitch is skied into center field straight away. Beasley takes a couple steps back, now ranges back in. And that'll be the second out of the inning, 8 straight set down for Jack Leftwich.
Still at just 26 pitches. He's been efficient. He's in the strike zone. We've seen mostly the fastball, I think, this first time through. A couple times we've seen the curve. I don't even know if he's let loose a third pitch to this point, but hasn't needed much else.
Brooks Carlson from Sanford steps in and looks at a first pitch. It looked like a changeup there, and it's 0-1. Carlson at 158 on the year. And that one comes in and nicks him on the upper arm. And that's the first base runner of the game for Hyannis.
Carlson will take it any way he can get it, but that did not feel good in his first at-bat today.
Still holding the arm flexed as he jogs down to first base. He continues to take some inventory. They'll quickly call time to allow for him and the first base coach to check it out. The arm's probably a little stiff as it caught him right there on the tricep.
He's definitely in some pain. I don't know how far down the arm that was, towards the elbow even, but trying to get on base any way he could. Didn't flinch, didn't move out of the way. He's been struggling at the plate, so he's willing to take it, but definitely in some pain. Looks like he's going to be all right and stay in there.
Now takes his lead. It's now the top of the order. Anthony Servideo steps in. Now 4 for 37 this year for Hyannis. It's the first base runner that Leftwich has allowed. Was absolutely cruising until that point. Just looked like a pitch that got away from him. Back pick from Austin Wells. Back in time on a dive is Brooks Carlson.
These Red Sox catchers, between Wells and Cardenas not playing tonight, are not afraid to throw it around the bases, trying to help out their pitchers. Both have really accurate arms. We haven't seen that come back to haunt YD, only help so far this season.
2-0 pitch downstairs, and it's 3-0. So a quick little struggle with command here for Leftwich, as he had it on cruise control early. Now working out of the stretch for the first time. He delivers. 3-0 pitch took a little bit off, down to 89, and that's strike 3-1. As always, a few scouts on hand here at McKeon Park. Crowd beginning to fill up down both lines. 3-1 pitch is spoiled foul, and from 3-0, Leftwich has worked it back to 3-2. Servideo, Ole Miss product. There's a few SEC guys in this lineup. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Auburn, and Mizzou. 3-2 pitch, runner goes. The appeal, and they will say no, and it's a walk. Austin Wells was very quick to ask for the appeal.
Leftwich was almost wondering where it missed, I think. He thought he just was going to get it called strike 3, but back-to-back free passes, and all of a sudden Hyannis has a chance here with a hit they could get on the board.
The other umpire, Mike Rabideau, made the call there, said no. And Lucas Dunn from Louisville steps in with an RBI opportunity here with 2 down. First time Leftwich has found himself in some trouble today, as he spins a breaking ball in there for a called strike, 0-1. Carlson's on second. Servidio's on first after drawing the walk. Leftwich working out of the stretch. Here's the 0-1. Another breaking ball that drops in at the bottom of the zone. It's 0-2. Leftwich's pitch count now approaching 30. This will be pitch 28 for him. And that one's fouled off the mask of Austin Wells behind home plate. Frank Auditory will take a second to let Austin Wells gather himself. grab some fresh baseballs. Austin Wells seems to be okay. He's taken a couple shots behind the plate so far this season.
Yep, all the catchers at some point do in their careers. There's been that kind of stretch for Wells, I think, where he's taking a couple, but he seems all right.
0-2 the count. Florida Gator delivers. That one's chopped at the plate off the foot of Dunn, and it's 0-2. Austin Wells having a quick chat with Auditory behind the plate. As Leftwich retoes the rubber and gets set to do it again. Working slightly from the third base side, slightly closed as he comes set at the letters. The 0-2. Popped foul and out of play, and we'll do it again. It was two breaking balls to get to the 0-2 count. Since it's been fastballs and Dunn has spoiled them all, we'll see if Leftwich elects to go back to the off-speed stuff.
I'm wondering if he's going to try to bury something and get him to chase out of the zone here. He trusts Wells to make the stop behind the plate. See if he can expand the strike zone.
Both Whitey catchers very good behind the plate. The 0-2. He did spike it. Dunn did a good job of laying off. So in a sense, we were both right, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that's just a good job by Dunn to lay off that pitch. It's a good curveball, started in the zone. When you're down in the count 0-2, that's a very chaseable pitch. Now it's interesting to see if Leftwich goes back there and maybe comes with the fastball.
He's proven that he can throw the breaking ball for the strike, and a fastball dips low, and it's 2-2.
And Campbell's really shaded into the left center gap here. I think Dunn's behind the fastball, and with two strikes, normally people try to go in the opposite direction.
The left field line is more than wide open. As it's a 2-2 count with two down here in the inning. Leftwich looking to get out of the jam. Swings over the top of the changeup, and that'll end the inning. So Leftwich runs into a little bit of trouble, but works his way around it, striking out Lucas Dunn. We are through 3 full here at Hyannis. 3-0 our score. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
5 to 12 are welcome to learn hitting, pitching, and fielding.
Tate Samuelson to lead things off for YD in their half of the 4th inning. 6, 7, and 8 due up. The first pitch misses high, and it's 1-0. Kyle Murphy on the mound had his best inning last inning, retiring the Red Sox in order, going through Wells, King, and Wold. 1, 2, 3. Samuelson now batting for the second time. Looks at a fastball that is low and outside, and it's 2-0. Some action now in the Hyannis bullpen. Two-0 pitch to Samuelson. It's a breaking ball, and Murphy steals strike 1.
Murphy hasn't gone longer than 3 innings. That was in a relief appearance against Brewster, in which he gave up 5 earned runs over those 3. So as soon as he gets an out here, it's his longest start.
Called strike, and it's now 2-2. Samuelson grounded back to Murphy on the mound. to end the first inning. Two to the count. Here's the pitch. Chopped at the plate, and it rolls weakly towards the Hyannis dugout, and the count holds at 2-2. Samuelson, as we said, the decisive home run in yesterday's contest. Murphy out of the stretch, the 2-2. Oh, comes in and hits him on the helmet. Looked like it caught the ear flap there of Tate Samuelson, and immediately Scott Pickler jogging in to take a look at his first baseman.
You hope he's okay there, and that one came in high and tight. Definitely caught him around that helmet area. That's just a scary moment.
You heard the immediate reaction from me on the mic as that one ran inside quickly, and you could see the look on Murphy's face. He's in disbelief as well. That's something you never want to see as a pitcher.
Yeah, it just got away from him, and that's not any intent or anything there from Murphy. That's just a fastball that rose high and inside. Samuelson walking off. I have to imagine that's probably going to end his day. Take a look at him over in the dugout. Now Pick's going to have to make some changes to the lineup. So the leadoff man aboard, but thoughts are with Tate Samuelson. You hope he's okay. He walked off under his own power, so that's a good sign, but you have to imagine there's going to be some concussion tests, some protocols, as at least they're going to take a look at him at the end of the bench.
It had enough force behind it that it actually knocked the helmet off of his head as it came in and got him on the ear flap.
You wonder, it didn't make that loud kind of solid thwack when you hear it click off the plastic helmet. And I'm not sure exactly where that got Samuelson, if it was fully on the helmet or partially off the helmet as well. Didn't see exactly where it was, and I think that might end the day for Kyle Murphy.
The Harbor Hawks are going to the pen as Murphy goes 3+ and is responsible for the runner on base. To look to the pinch runner is Riley Terada. So we will have a pitching change and be right back with Brad Beasley set to take his second at-bat of the game. Of course, our thoughts are with Tate Samuelson. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball. We'll be right back on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back here in the visiting half of the fourth inning. Riley Terada on at first base, replacing Tate Samuelson, as we received word that it looked like it caught him up near the left eye area, but appears to be okay as Beasley steps in for a second AB. Gave one a ride to left in his first at-bat as the first pitch from the new pitcher, Patrick Fredrickson, is a breaking ball that stays high, and it's 1-0. Fredrickson listed at 6'6". Out of the University of Minnesota. Pickoff play. He'll check on Terada. Terada, fresh off the bench, gets the uniform dirty. Beasley, 0 for 1. Terada takes his lead. The 1-0 from Fredrickson. Fastball pumped in at 89, and that's a called strike, 1-1. Sun continues to set as the shadows creep towards center field. Infield still very much in the sunlight as there is a gap between the school that we are currently playing at and the tree line up the left field line. Another pickoff play. Terada back easily. 1-1 the count to Brad Beasley. Fredrickson looks in. Comes set at the belt. Kicks and deals. Another fastball on the outside corner and it's 1-2. One and two the count. One, two. Top of the strike zone, just barely misses, and it's even at 2-2.
And fastball is spotting right around the outside edge right now for Fredrickson, a guy who's been hit around a little bit, but the command, only 5 walks and 7 1/3 innings.
Even count to Brad Beasley, 2-2. Terada's on first, and they'll check on him again. Once again, back easily. Fredrickson checks the runner on first, checks again. Now comes home. Terada's running. It's a hit and run. Beasley skies it to center field. Terada's going to have to retreat in a hurry. Stumbles a little bit. Here's the throw. It's going to be close. And he came off the bag. Brooks Carlson tried to stretch to retrieve the throw, but Terada back with a headlong dive.
Terada's probably out of breath. He had a good jump on the hit and run, a fly ball to center. Once he spotted it, he had to slam on the brakes right around the second base bag. And as you said, stumbled once he turned and made the way back to first. But a guy with pretty good speed, once he gets going, had one of the most impressive 60 times at Fenway and showed it off there, getting back to the bag.
Jake Palmer now steps in with 1 down. Runner on first, worked a walk in his first at-bat of the day. That one's roped into center field, and that'll drop for a base hit. Terada cautiously advances to second base this time. And it's first and second and 1 down for the Red Sox.
Good day so far for Jake Palmer. Now a walk and a solid single. Getting in one of those spot starts that you mentioned, and he's making his name for the bottom of this order, and all of a sudden the bottom of the order potentially in business here again.
And this is what we talked about in the open, Brian. What kind of production can Scott Pickler get from the bottom half of his lineup? RJ Yeager now steps in, the 9-hole hitter. Singled in his first at-bat of the day on the perfectly executed hit and run. First pitch to him is an off-speed pitch in for a called strike, 0-1.
I love it.
Yeah, you asked me the other day.
3-0 our score here. So the Red Sox have yet to push anything across after the Austin Wells 3-run home run back in the first inning. But threatening here with 2 runners on with 1 down here in the 4th. That one misses, and it's 1-1. Terada replacing Samuelson, waits on second base. Jake Palmer's on first. RJ Yeager in the box. 1-1 count to him. Fredrickson comes set to the belt. 1-1. Off-speed pitch that just drops low. Fredrickson wanted it on the mound and it's 2-1.
Yeah, right around the outer edge of the strike zone, but just missed once again.
It's been a tight zone here thus far for Mr. Auditory behind the plate, squeezing both Leftwich and the Hyannis pitchers. 2-1 the count now. Left. That one skips by Chad McDaniel behind home plate, and both runners will advance. And now Hyannis is out of the double play. And there's runners on second and third, and a 3-1 count to RJ Yeager. So exactly what you didn't want to have happen if you're Patrick Fredrickson on the mound, is that one nicked off the glove of McDaniel. And now it's second and third, still only one down. 3-1. Yeager chases ball 4.
Went after the fastball, 92 miles an hour, right upstairs. He gets a hold of it, he crushes it, but that's so tough to catch up with up high.
Yeager waving the bat in a tight circle above his helmet. Payoff pitch from Fredrickson. Here it comes. And Yeager is down on strike swinging. So a big second out of the inning for Patrick Fredrickson, but he's not out of the woods yet. Is now Cape Cod Baseball League's second leading hitter. Wyatt Young steps in a big opportunity to break this game open.
Young last time up had runners on the corners. He popped up a bunt on what looked like a safety squeeze potentially. Now still a chance to drive in a couple with men on second and third.
Wyatt Young, as usual, slight choke up on the bat. First pitch to him. High and wide, and it's 1-0. Fredrickson drops the ball on the mound, but nothing doing. Young steps back in. 372 on the year. 6 RBI, looking for more. That one skips right over into the net right in front of us. Toronto will come in to score. Palmer over to third, and it's 4-0 Red Sox.
Couple of wild pitches in the frame. Well, YD to add to their lead.
Fredrickson unable to locate a couple of his pitches. They skip back to the backstop, and they result in a run. So now 4-0 our score here. As the 2-0 pitch is wide, 3-0. Noah Campbell, South Carolina Gamecock, waits on deck. Will once again be batting from the left side if Young can reach here with 2 down in the inning. Wyatt Young up 3-0 in the count. Here's the pitch. Checks his swing. Nothing doing on the appeal, and he reaches in his runners on the corner with 2 outs for Noah Campbell.
Now I wouldn't be shocked if we see Wyatt Young take off for second. Or if there's a potential hit and run with Campbell on at the plate. Again, he can handle the bat really well. Runners on the corners. Maybe you try to get some action on the base paths. The con of that is you don't want to take the bat out of Campbell's hands and Wells on deck. Both have been swinging it so well.
Campbell grounded up to short on a broken bat. Ground ball in his last at bat in the second inning. First pitch swinging, skies one over the press box, and it's 0-1. Should Campbell reach, Austin Wells waits on deck. Presumably in another big-time RBI opportunity for him.
We'll see if Campbell can extend the inning.
Campbell, switch hitter, batting from the left side off the righty Fredrickson. Down 0-1 in the count. And they'll check on Wyatt Young, and Fredrickson will just loft a throw over.
Palmer took a couple aggressive steps down the line. If Fredrickson rainbows another one like that to first, I wouldn't expect Palmer to take off because, again, you want to leave the bat in Campbell's hands, but got to be careful.
Something to be said for putting the pressure on the defense to make a play. There goes Young. Throw from McDaniel's not in time. Palmer's coming home. Here's the play. They got him. Palmer tries to steal a run coming home on the Double steal attempt. It was cut off well by Servideo at shortstop in front of the bag. He fired a quick and accurate throw to McDaniel at the plate. And that's the third out of the inning. So they do indeed take the bat out of Noah Campbell's hands. He'll lead off the next inning. Our score is 4-0. We head to the bottom of the fourth on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the fourth inning, YD snuck across the run courtesy of a couple Patrick Fredrickson pass balls as Jack Leftwich out for his fourth inning of work. Found himself in a little bit of trouble in the last frame for Hyannis,
The left fielder from Arizona State,
but able to work around it. Trevor Hover steps in now. 9 RBI on the year, 11 walks for the Sun Devils. Him and DeSantelo both with 11 free passes. And the first pitch to him is a called strike. Leftwich working quickly. Here's the 0-1. Downstairs at the shins, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, the batting average isn't there for Hover right now, but he's hitting the ball for power with the home run. The on-base percentage is there with those walks.
Off-speed pitch dips just low, and it's 2-1. Hover, one of a few Sun Devils on the Cape this summer. Of course, a couple here with YD. The Vanderkoy has very recently returned to Tempe. Drew Swift, of course, shortstop. 3-1. Fouled away off the left-hand side, and it's 3-2.
It's just Leftwich challenging him with the fastball, saying, all right, down in the count. I'm going to rear back and throw you a fastball. Go ahead and do what you can with it. Just ended up fouling it off.
Outfield is straight away. Infield, much of the same. Hover batting from the left-hand side, slightly crashed. Chopped on the ground, Wyatt Young crashing in. He'll make the throw across his body and retire Hover for the first out of the inning.
Great charge by Wyatt Young. I thought for a second Leftwich might field that one, but ended up letting it go. Let the shortstop make the play. Great job being aggressive, charging, and then the always strong on the money throw from Wyatt Young to first for the routine first out of the frame.
With Drew Swift not seeing any recent action except for on the mound, Wyatt Young has really solidified that everyday shortstop role for Scott Pickler.
And if Wyatt Young keeps hitting and making the plays, Drew Swift is going to be at second base when he returns.
First pitch downstairs for a ball to Jared DeSantelo. And it's 1-0.
Nothing against Drew there. It's just how well Wyatt Young has played since being put at shortstop.
Half swing there from DeSantelo as he decided to swing very late on that fastball, and it's 1-1. And to Drew Swift's credit, very slick fielding infielder.
He can play multiple positions. So
absolutely.
We know he plays at second at Arizona State. He can play short as well, probably third if necessary.
That one smoked on the ground, fielded over there by Terada, now donning the first baseman's glove. welcome to the game at the opposite of the hot corner, Riley Tirada. It's the second out of the inning.
Well, I guess he's used to those hot shots. Normally the third baseman, just throw him over there at first, see what happens in there for Tate Samuelson, your other regular first baseman, Jack Wold in the designated hitter role. So Tirada makes the great stop cleanly, and then good range to step on the bag. A big smile down there for Riley. He's done a really good job defensively this season for YD, now at first for the first time.
Kind of handcuffed him as he had to field a tough top, but made it cleanly. So that one's flared into left center field. Got Beasley crashing, Wyatt Young going out, and he can't quite make the play on the slide. He was hustling out there. It was really him or nobody else as Beasley was shaded into right center field, and Young on his horse, unable to make the fantastic catch, sliding with his back to the infield.
Yeah, that would have been the best play of Wyatt Young's YD tenure defensively. He almost was able to run it down off the bat. He knew it was him or nobody else. Campbell was too deep in left, and it was too shallow and towards center field for Beasley to have any chance at it.
So after 3 2/3, Jack Leftwich has finally surrendered a hit. And it comes with 2 down here in the 4th, and now Rigsby Mosley, Troy Trojan will step in. Here's the 0-1. Way out in front of the off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2. Leftwich has done an outstanding job, Brian, of keeping these Hyannis hitters off balance.
He's throwing all 3 of his pitches really successfully right now. He's locating them all well. Just you're not sure what's coming because he's got a good feel.
0-2 pitch. Fastball pumped just outside. Split the knees of Austin Wells, but he was set up over the right-hander's batter's box. And it's 1-2.
Trying to get him to expand the zone with the fastball, and that's not a bad pitch at all because it's borderline. You're not sure. Maybe the hitter reaches out at it, and they can't do anything with that pitch. So that's a great miss.
1-2 now the count. Grounded on the ground to Young. He'll go across the diamond to first in time. That's the 3rd out of the inning. Wyatt Young with a couple of strong throws from short and almost an outstanding play in shallow left center field. Leftwich finally surrenders a hit, but doesn't surrender anything else. It's 4-0 Red Sox. We head to the 5th here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the 5th inning back here in Hyannis. It's YD at the plate. Campbell, Wells, and King due up here in the top of the 5th. It's 4-0 Red Sox over the Harbor Hawks as we begin this 5th inning. Campbell still against Patrick Fredrickson, the reliever out there on the mound for the Harbor Hawks. Alrighty, from Minnesota, misses with the first pitch fastball. Down and in, 4-1 to Campbell.
I got a little eager there. Thought I had the 5th inning.
It's all right. It happens to the best of us. 4-0 YD. Here's the 1-0 to Campbell. Fouled back out of play. A ball and a strike. Campbell was at the plate in the top of the 4th when Wyatt Young swiped second. Jake Palmer tried to advance and score from 3rd, but a great throw home from Servideo caught Palmer trying to get the 5th run of the game for YD. Fredrickson, the Minnesota man, 6'2", listed at 220. Tall and skinny right-hander, the 1-1. Bounced foul up the first baseline by Campbell. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Fredrickson here on the Cape after a disappointing sophomore campaign. He was the ace truly of Minnesota as a freshman, if not the ace of the Big Ten. His freshman season led the Big Ten in ERA as a freshman with a 1.86 ERA. He was the Big Ten pitcher of the year as a freshman, but struggled this past season. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Scott Campbell with an off speed. Might have been two-seam fastball or even the changeup in the mid-80s to get Campbell for the first out here in the fifth. Second strikeout for Fredrickson in his relief appearance tonight.
16, Austin Wells.
One down now for Austin Wells. 1 for 2. He has the big hit of the ball game so far. It was a 3-run home run. He was just the third batter of the game in the first inning when he launched the 3-run shot to left. First pitch from Fredrickson is a breaking ball for a called strike to Wells, 0-1.
That's a good first pitch to Austin Wells, a guy who's been really locked in of late, really just over the last 3 or 4 ball games.
The 0-1. Fastball buzzed above the letters. Ball 1 to Wells, 1-1. Disappointing year for the Golden Gophers in the Big Ten. After winning it in 2018, they struggled, barely above 500 in the conference. Did not make the national tournament. The 1-1. Change up, called strike on the outer edge to Wells. A ball and 2 strikes. Big part of that was Fredrickson's struggles to recover from some shoulder inflammation. Trying to recover and get back to his old self here on the Cape, but he's struggled as well for the Harbor Hawks. A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch to Wells. Changeup misses down and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fredrickson with an ERA up above 11. Started a couple times. Worked out of the bullpen as well for Hyannis. The 2-2. Fastball inside. Wells spins out of the way, and the count is full with 1 down. 4-0 YD. Top of the 5th inning. YD and Hyannis here in the first game of a 2-game home-and-home series. Fredrickson brings the 3-2. Wells rips it down the right field line. That's going to get down and into the corner. Rolls to the wall. Over to scoop it out is Mosley. Wells taking a hard turn around second, but he slams on the brakes. The catcher content with his 4th double of the season. His 2nd extra base knock of the day. Wells is swinging it at the plate, and it's a 1-out double for Austin Wells in the 5th.
The next batter, the third base.
Yeah, he is absolutely locked in, going to all fields. It really started with the 3-hit day, following the rough 3 strikeout day that he had a few games ago, and ever since then, he's just the type of guy where you just can't see him having 2 bad days in a row. He's just too talented of a hitter to really struggle for an extended period of time.
Now Riley King, the cleanup man. Wells leads from 2nd. Wells leading the Cape League now in home runs, 2 more above the nearest competitor. King is 0 for 2 today. First pitch from Fredrickson. Ground ball right side. Diving stop made. Knocked down by Carlson, but he can't field it cleanly. He slid to his right, gloved it, but then as he tried to stand up, the ball bounced free. King is aboard. Wells moves up to third base. Yet to see if that's a hit or an error. Runners on the corners with 1 out for YD.
Hard to imagine that they would rule that an error. It was a very tough play for Carlson to make, going to his right, fielding it on the backhand, and they do indeed rule it a hit.
First hit of the day for King. Only had 1 hitless day. He's been aboard in almost every game here for the Red Sox. He has really swung it as well. Now Jack Wold with runners on the corners and 1 out. Fredrickson from the stretch, sets at the belt, deals. Curveball dips below the knees of Wold, 1-0. King on first, Wells on third.
This is a big opportunity for Wold, a guy who's been struggling really to drive the ball. The average is still there, hanging around 300, but we haven't really seen the power numbers that he was sort of billed to be in a long time.
The 1-0. Fastball misses away. 2 balls and no strikes to Wold. He drove 1 to center today, but a nice running catch by Jordan, but that's as hard as we've seen him hit 1 in a while. 0 for 2 today for Wold. 1 home run, a couple of doubles. The average, as Andre said, hovering around 300. I haven't seen him put a ride in one. The 2-0. Wold drives it deep in the air to right center. That's going to stay in the yard. Rounding it, the right center, Mosley. He'll make the catch. Wells tagging from third, throws going into second, and it's a sac fly RBI for Jack Wold. Wells scores from third, and YD is on top now 5-0 here over Hyannis. Second out of the frame on the sac fly for Wold. King remained at first base. And now Riley Tirada.
Number 25, Riley Tirada.
Tirada in for Tate Samuelson. Samuelson got hit by a pitch up around the helmet and had to exit the game in the fourth. You know, he was putting ice around his eye area on the bench. First pitch to Tirada is a called strike on the fastball. Tirada, after entering the game as a pinch runner then for Samuelson, would come around and score on a wild pitch by Fredrickson in the fourth inning to put YD up at the time 4-0. They lead it by 5 now here in the top of the fifth. Check on first. King's back safely. Tirada also made a great play on a hard hit ball at first base. First time we've seen him around the first base bag this season, showing off a great glove. Tirada hitting just 154. The pitch fouled back out of play. 0-2 now to Tirada.
Remember, fans, thanks to our friends.
2 down, 0-2 count, 5-0 YD. On deck for the Red Sox is Brad Beasley. Relief man on the mound for Hyannis is Patrick Fredrickson. Fredrickson sets. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, blew the fastball by him. Third strikeout for Fredrickson. It's the third out of the fifth, but YD gets one on the Wells double and then a sac fly from Jack Wold. 5-0. Red Sox through 4.5. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the fifth, it's 5-0 Red Sox over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. We are in Hyannis, so Hyannis will come to the plate against Jack Leftwich as we begin the home half of the fifth. Julian McDaniel and Carlson do up for the Harbor Hawks in this fifth against Jack Leftwich. Leftwich has been dealing on the mound, just one hit and a couple of free passes through 4 innings of work. First pitch to Edward Julian, fastball that misses high and away for ball 1. Leftwich sitting in the upper 80s, hovering right around 90 with the fastball. Struck out Julian swinging back in the third. 1-0, changeup misses down and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Lights are on here at Hyannis, not taking any effect yet. Almost the majority, almost the entirety of the field covered in shadows. The 2-0. Fastball finds the zone, 2-1. Red Sox have been on top from the get-go. A 3-run home run by Austin Wells put them on top 3-0, just 3 batters into the game. 2-1 to Julian, scorched into the right center gap. That's going to split the gap and get all the way to the wall. The center fielder, Brad Beasley, picks it up in right center. throws it back to the infield, but a leadoff double for Edward Julian. His first hit as a Harbor Hawk gets them started with a leadoff double here in the 5th.
The next batter for the Harbor Hawks, the catcher from Missouri, number 38, Chad
Now
McDaniel.
Chad McDaniel, he flew out to Beasley in center field in the 3rd. That's the second hit of the day off Leftwich. McDaniel, the switch hitter from Missouri, doing the catching today for Hyannis. First pitch off speed, misses away. That's been the one pitch, I think, that hasn't been dialed in. That changeup has missed a couple times from Leftwich.
Yeah, he's just he's let it get away from him a little bit. We've seen his breaking ball be tight. His fastball's getting pumped in and locating, really splitting the knees of Austin Bell. But the changeup
1-0 misses just high and away.
feels a bit like it's kind of fluttering up there, for lack of a better word, just dancing a little bit.
2-0 count, 5-0. The Red Sox lead it here in the 5th. McDaniel at the plate with the base runner, Julian, on second. Here's the 2-0. Cut on and missed. The fastball. 2-1. McDaniel with 3 doubles on the season. An even stance from the left side. Bat just up above his back shoulder. Leftwich brings the 2-1. Fastball hit in the air, left side. Foul territory, drifts out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody down here in the bottom of the 5th. It's the bottom of the order against Hyannis, against Leftwich for the second time. 2-2, swung on and missed. Leftwich gets McDaniel with the curveball. 4th strikeout for Leftwich on the mound, and there's the first out of the 5th.
From Sanford, number 14, Brooks Carlson.
Leftwich just thrown 65 pitches on the mound. He has been efficient as he's in his 5th inning of work. Last time out, he went 5 1/3 against Harwich. Swing and a miss to begin the at-bat by Brooks Carlson. Carlson got hit by a pitch on the left elbow tricep general area in his only other at-bat in the 3rd plate appearance. Leftwich brings the 0-1. That was the curveball. That's a called strike, and he's quickly ahead of Carlson, 0-2. Julian lit off the frame with the double to right center. He's still standing there with 1 out. An 0-2 count to Carlson. 5-0 Red Sox lead. 2 looks to second. The pitch. Check swing. They'll appeal to first, and he did not go around. Appeal to second, really. As Ronaldo Cockrum is in between the first and second base back. Tough angle for him to view the check swing. Everybody looked immediately down the first baseline. No umpire was there. Had to quickly turn and look to second. The 1-2. Another off-speed misses down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That is the difference. And it's funny how instinctual it is for both players and fans alike, because we've seen it now twice with Austin Wells, where he's appealed once to first, and the umpire was excited, and then appealed once to third, and he was
Last
also
time he just kind of ended up waving his finger around, pointing anywhere out on the field.
just appeal to somebody.
2-2. Carlson deepens his stance. Here's the pitch. Fastball just misses down and in. And Carlson has worked it back to a full count. Leftwich has gone at least 5 innings in both his other starts. Into the 5th here. Full count. Here's the pitch. Fastball called strike 3. Carlson checked his swing, 2nd strikeout in a row on the mound from Leftwich. Carlson really struggling for these Harbor Hawks. That's his 25th strikeout already this season.
Not a number you want to see ever, really, but especially here on Cape Cod with the magnitude of every game mattering so much. Samford player.
Now the top of the lineup for Hyannis. First pitch to Servideo, misses away, ball one. Servideo struck out and walked so far. Batting here in the bottom of the fifth. 1-0 count. He hits from the left side out of Ole Miss. A short stop here for Hyannis. Check on second, and it's thrown into center field. Nobody covering the bag. Moving up to third base is Julian. Leftwich turned and ended up throwing it. Nobody was there. It almost looked like he tried to hold up, and now there's going to be a meeting out on the mound as Young and Leftwich go over some signs.
Yeah, definite miscommunication there. It was clearly like not a real pickoff attempt, as it was just lofted towards second base, but neither of the double play pair, Yeager or Young, crashed for that one, and Beasley, playing in regular depth in center field, really had no chance to come in and make a play.
Still from the stretch, 2 outs, a man on third and Julian. The batter at the plate, Servideo. 1-0 count to him. Leftwich steps off. It is a throwing error on Leftwich. First error of the day. The 1-0. Breaking ball, notches the inner edge. Strike one. A ball and a strike. The pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Wells. 2-1. YD looking to win their second straight ball game. Hyannis trying to snap a 2-game skid after they picked up just their third win of the season. YD bound to make up a game against either Orleans or Chatham if they can get a win tonight. The 2-1 misses down and away, and it's 3-1. The Firebirds and the Anglers, the other two teams atop this Eastern Division, squaring off. Orleans leads by 3 points, so they're going to be in first place no matter what after tonight. The 3-1. Ground ball, right side, off the bag, foul ball. Maybe just over the bag, not off of it or wide of it. Called foul by Ronaldo Cockrum up the first baseline. Terada knocked it down over the first baseline after scooting over. Looked like it took a piece of the bag with it, but called the foul ball, and the count is full. Julian led off the inning with the double to right center. He's on third base. Leftwich sets. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Hit in the air. Center field. Drifting to right center. It's Beasley, the center fielder, to take it. Coming in, and he makes the catch at his shoulder. Leftwich works around the leadoff double to strand a man on third. He's through a scoreless 5 on the mound, and it's 5-0 Red Sox. Top of the 6th, coming up next on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 6th inning, Whitey leads it 5-0 tonight over Hyannis. Stadium and the fields now fully covered in shade as we begin the top of the 6th, bottom third of the YD order to face Frederickson out on the mound for Hyannis. Beasley, Palmer, Yeager. 2 up. Beasley at the plate. First pitch from Fredrickson. Fastball buzzes at the eyes for ball 1. Beasley has flown out a couple times today. His struggles continue in 2019. The 1-0. Fastball, a called strike at the knees to Beasley. 1-1. YD has been atop since the jump. Austin Wells home run in the first. Fredrickson a deep breath and the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Beasley over the top of the off speed, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. For the 5 runs charged to Kyle Murphy, the starter tonight for Hyannis. Only 3 of them were earned. Fredrickson brings the 1-2. Beasley checks his swing. He chased, blocked in the dirt, tag applied by McDaniel. Beasley strikes out. He's 0 for 3 today. That's the first out in the 6th. Jake Palmer out of the plate while Beasley struggled at the dish. Palmer's had himself a nice little day. A walk in the 2nd, a single in the 4th. He was cut down at the plate trying to score in the 4th inning, but he's been aboard twice. Fredrickson from the stretch. First pitch to Palmer. 2-seam fastball dives down and away. Ball 1 to Palmer. One down, top of the 6th. YD leads 5-0. 1-0 count to Palmer. Here's the pitch. Called strike. The changeup hits the inner portion of home plate. 1-1 to Palmer. Palmer did hit 1 home run this spring for UC Irvine. Yet to get an extra base hit for the Red Sox. Here's the 1-1. Off speed misses away. 2 balls and a strike to Palmer. Not a big man, Jake Palmer. 5'10", 185. Fredrickson has done a good job slowing down this YD offense out of the pen. The 2-1 misses low and inside to the lefty. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, he's pitched well. Really been able to keep the bats off balance, keep them at bay. For the most part, yes, he allowed the 1 run, but for the most part, has kept the deficit where it is, hasn't allowed this game to get out of hand.
5-0 YD. The 3-1 to Palmer. Fastball misses high, ball 4, and Jake Palmer aboard for the 3rd time today. His 2nd walk to go with the single. That's why he was atop of the order man at UC Irvine. That great on-base ability. He now has 6 walks on the season as well. RJ Yeager to the plate with 1 down. At this point, probably Fredrickson's best performance on the mound for Hyannis. He's allowed a run in every time out there, but first time he's gone multiple innings, only allowing 1 run. Check on first. Palmer's back safely. Yeager at the plate. Yeager's 1 for 2. His 1 hit today came on a perfectly executed hit and run. That was with Palmer on first, back in the 2nd. Just poked it through the right side with the second baseman Dunn covering the bag. First pitch to Yeager. Breaking ball down and away. Skips past the catcher. Palmer moves up to 2nd as McDaniel will retreat and pick up the ball. Ball 1 to Yeager. And Palmer in scoring position now with 1 out. RJ has struggled some at the plate. But a hit today, his 2nd hit of the summer. Wyatt Young on deck. Fredrickson sets. Takes a glance to 2nd and deals. Swing and a miss by Yeager. A ball and a strike. Yeager twirls the bat above his shoulder. Orange batting gloves for the Mercer May. Here's the 1-1. Called strike on the outer edge. The fastball again from Fredrickson. Ball and 2 strikes. Now to Yeager. Playing second base tonight. Plays shortstop mostly for Mercer. Fredrickson with the pause. Here's the 1-2. Yeager chops it on the ground, left side, tough hop, and it gets past the shortstop, Servideo, into left center. Trotting home easily is going to be Jake Palmer from third, and going up to second is RJ Yeager. Great hustle to get to second base. Looked like just a hard chopper at Servideo. Took a bounce to his left more than he realized. Tried to stab it with the glove, but he couldn't do so. And YD now has a run in 3 straight innings. They lead at 6-0. Wyatt Young at the plate with 1 out, and Yeager in scoring position.
Yeah, that ball took a wicked hop in front of Servideo, who's played a really solid game defensively at shortstop. Ruled that a hit.
That's how bad a hop it was. So that's a double for RJ Yeager on a ground ball to short. First pitch misses inside, ball 1 to Wyatt Young. That's one way to get your first extra base hit. It's now a 2-hit day for RJ Yeager. Young at the plate, 1 out, 6-0 YD, 1-0 count. Fredrickson kicks and deals. Young sharply hit through the right side for a base hit. Wyatt Young's first hit of the day. Yeager's coming around. He will score. Another RBI knock for Wyatt Young. 7-0 Red Sox here in the top of the 6th. Yeager scores from second on the Wyatt Young RBI single to right. Young is aboard for the 3rd time today, and he extends his 5-game hitting streak to 6 with that hit as well. He'd been aboard with a couple of walks so far, but there's the first hit. And that brings up Noah Campbell, who's 1 for 3 today. We just can't say enough about Wyatt Young right now.
Yeah, he is.
Campbell skies the first pitch to left field. Hauver trotting back on it. Straightaway left, and he makes the catch. Second out here in the 6th. Campbell with the fly out, and with 2 outs, that brings up Austin Wells.
Just to finish the point on Wyatt Young, he was a guy that myself and our scout liaison, Alex Chapman, who hopped on the broadcast yesterday, shouts to him, we were both watching at the very beginning of the season when there were still a lot of temp guys here, and Wyatt Young being himself a temporary player. We were just so impressed by the way he carried himself, the way that he was taking ground balls at second base, and you saw it too. He was hitting absolute lasers in the cage at the beginning of the year, just so flat, line drives to all fields, and he kind of caught all of our attention. It's like, this kid is different.
First pitch to Austin Wells, another kid who's different. It's a called strike, 0-1 to Wells. But Wyatt Young, we talk about that, and I think one of the things when we watch him hit in BP, what jumps off the page is for a man who's 5'7", he has some serious juice in the bat. Haven't really seen him display that as of late, but just ripping the ball around the yard. Here's the 0-1 to Wells. Misses down and in. Good block by McDaniel. A ball and a strike after the breaking ball was spiked by Fredrickson. But a couple of times early in the season around the cage, Pickle pull a player aside when he's really trying to emphasize especially how to use the lower half and tell them to watch Wyatt Young hit. And he says, look at this. The little man has so much juice because of how he swings the bat. And I think that's, as much as it says, the model that Wyatt Young can be. The 1-1 to Wells. Ripped foul down the right field line. A nice catch by somebody protecting the bullpen. One of the bullpen pitchers down there for the Red Sox. They do have someone up and tossing down the right field line. 7-0 YD. A ball and 2 strikes to Wells. Wells is 2 for 3 today. A couple of runs, a double, and a home run.
I was Colin Kafka making the grab out there, protecting his bullpen mates.
Tip of the cap from Kafka. Couldn't see the number from here from my vantage point. Wells chops the 1-2 foul up the first base line. Still a ball and 2 strikes to Wells. Continues to just have a monster summer. And what a really group at the top of the lineup right now for YD. Young hitting .378, among the lead leaders in hitting. Noah Campbell, last year's team MVP. Austin Wells leads the league with 5 home runs. 1, 2, 3. And Riley King, ho-hum, hitting .333 in the 4 spot. The 1-2 to Wells. Misses down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Only 333. Come on.
And he's only hit in, I believe, 9 of the 10 games he's been here.
Some slight work from the top half of this YD order.
2-2 to Wells. Young with the RBI knock. This frame leads from first. Fredrickson delivers. Swing and a miss. Wells went after the fastball up. Strike 3. Fredrickson picks up his 4th strikeout of the day, but 2 come across for YD in the 6th. They now lead it 7-0 through 5.5 here in Hyannis. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the 6th, Jacob Winger is on the mound for the YD Red Sox in relief of Jack Leftwich. Winger was on the roster to start the year, had to exit the roster, and now he's back with the team. First pitch is a called ball from Winger to Lucas Dunn. It's 2-3-4, due up for Hyannis here in the bottom of the 6th. YD leading the Harbor Hawks 7-0. Winger from the stretch, the 1-0. Swing and a miss on the fastball from Winger, and it's 1-1. Winger, in his brief appearance at the beginning of the season, appeared twice, 4 innings pitched. He only allowed 1 earned run. The 1-1. Hit in the air, first base side. Terada giving it a chase, but he runs out of room. It's a ball and 2 strikes after the foul ball now to Dunn. Dunn is 0 for 2 today at the plate. Ground out to third and to strikeout. Winger with the 1-2. Fastball misses down and away. Gets past Wells. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dunn with 5 runs scored this season for Hyannis. The 2-2. Ground ball left side, right at Wyatt Young. He gobbles it up, throws to first in time for a routine 6-3 ground out for the first out here in the 6th. Winger induces the ground out of Dunn, and now it's Trevor Hauver. Final line for Jack Leftwich. A great 5 innings on the mound for him. 2 hits, no runs, no earned runs, no solo home runs given up, which is the key for Leftwich. 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. So the Florida Gator, his best performance for YD this evening.
Yeah, his last 2 starts, 10 total innings, absolutely outstanding.
First pitch, ball, low and inside to Trevor Hauver, 1-0. Leftwich has really been great. We'll see if he hangs around. He threw a good amount of innings for Florida this summer, so we'll have to keep a radar on that. Check swing, but he did go around. Hauver did. On the 1-0, now it's 1-1. Low crouch for Hauver at the plate from the left side. He hits the 1-1 in the air out of play down the third base line. A ball and 2 strikes. Soft sunset here over Hyannis. Another beautiful evening on Cape Cod after the rough weather we've had to start the season. It is this last week really been nice here on Cape Cod.
Does seem like we're finally getting the weather everyone had promises.
1-2 misses down, 2 balls, 2 strikes. An imperfect time for everybody to show up on the Cape. We're reaching probably the peak of the attendance of the population. That's the word I'm looking for on the Cape here with 4th of July tomorrow.
Absolutely.
2-2 misses upstairs, and the count is full to Hauver with 1 down. You were here 2 years ago with Wareham. What was your experience like for the 4th in 2016?
You know, it was interesting. It was kind of subdued. I was a little bit disappointed. We, there again, as we are this year, had a game.
3-2's fouled out of play. We'll see another.
I remember July 3rd, we were playing at Spillane Field, and we got one of the most picturesque sunsets I have ever seen in my life.
Wow.
That night.
Hard to describe all the colors right there.
Yeah, it was took that photo from the press box stairs. So that was just the backdrop of the field. And, you know, Cape Cod is billed as a very high-profile sunset destination. And that was one of those times where I was like, wow, like, this is really cool. Like, happy 4th of July. It was a great time, but it is awesome to see the fireworks displays and all that up and down the water here on the elbow of Massachusetts. It is certainly very fun, and I'm looking forward to whatever we and the rest of the interns decide to do following our game tomorrow night.
I'm excited. Should be a fun time. It's a 1-out walk to Hauver, and that brings up DeSantolo. First pitch misses away to the lefty DeSantolo from Florida Atlantic. He's 0 for 2 today. Winger, a look to Hauver on first. Here's the 1-out. Fastball misses low, 2 balls, no strikes.
Receiving word now that Tate Samuelson is in fact okay, which is, of course, always great news. Shouts to our sources.
2-0. DeSantolo, the pitch. Fastball is a called strike, 2-1. Santolo has really had the best season of any of these Harbor Hawks in the lineup tonight offensively. 351 hitter coming in, a double. Yet to hit a long ball, but 11 walks, only 8 strikeouts. 2-1 is shot foul down the third baseline. 2-2.
Remember, fans, thanks to Accidental Auto Body, you can keep that foul ball tonight.
One down, 7-0 Red Sox in the bottom of the 6th. YD looking for their second straight win and to gain some ground on either Orleans or Chatham in the top of the East Division. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Jacob Winger, first strikeout of the night, sits down Jared DeSantolo. There's 2 down in the 6th with a man on first.
The next batter, the center fielder for Mississippi State, number 7, Rowdy Jordan.
Rowdy Jordan, the switch hitter, still from the left side against another righty for YD and Winger. Jordan is 1 for 2. He singled. He actually had the first hit of the day for Hyannis in the 4th against Jack Leftwich. It was a bloop into shallow left center, just out of the reach of Wyatt Young. First pitch off speed is flipped in for a called strike, 0-1 to Jordan. Two down, 0-1 count. Jordan from Mississippi State, 1 for 19 to start for the Harbor Hawks. Another breaking ball, another called strike, this time on the outside edge. 0-2. Winger sets. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouls out of play. We'll see another 0-2 from Winger to Jordan. Winger still from the stretch. Man on first is Hover with the 1-out walk. Now there's 2 down. Sets and delivers. Just misses down and away. Wells couldn't squeeze it, but he keeps it in front. The ball on 2 strikes now. Whitey's pitching staff has had a great last couple, really a great last week after a slow start to the season. If you take out that Chatham game, you could just kind of chisel around it, pick it up out of the schedule. This staff has been really spectacular. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Winger skips off the mound. He retires Jordan. Second strikeout of the frame and works around a 1-out walk for a scoreless 6th against Hyannis. 7-0 Red Sox. We are through a full 6 here in Hyannis. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 7th. We're back in Hyannis. It's 7-0 Red Sox over the Harbor Hawks. The meat of the order due up for the Red Sox here in the 7th. King, Wold, and Tirada all due up for YD. It's a new pitcher for Hyannis. Kyle Witten takes the hill in relief of Patrick Fredrickson and Kyle Murphy. Final line for Fredrickson. He goes 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs there, all earned. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Witten, the righty, goes to the University of Virginia. The Cavalier has appeared in 5 games, all out of the pen. This is number 6 for Hyannis. Righty-righty matchup against King. King 1 for 3 at the plate. Here's the first pitch from Witten. Grounded softly left side. The third baseman, Julian, fielding on the forehand. High throw to first, and it gets away. Over to the up the right field line. Backing up the play, the second baseman, Dunn. It stays in play off the fence up that line and holds King at first. But that's going to be a throwing error on Julian over at third. If you watch the College World Series, Edward Julian, the third baseman for Auburn, he had some struggles throwing at the end of a game against Mississippi State as well from third base in that College World Series. Allowed the Mississippi State Bulldogs to walk off against Auburn. And that's a throwing error for him, allowing King to reach here in the 7th.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that can really get in your head as a defender. You start to lose confidence very quickly, get the proverbial yips.
Now Jack Wold at the plate. Witten from the stretch. First pitch misses low, kicks up a cloud of dust. Ball 1. And that's something where it's at the end of the season, then you take some time off if you're Julian. You hope that doesn't just manifest in his head. Try to get back out there and make some throws in game as quickly as possible. The 1-0 to Wold. Swing and a miss, now 1-1. King aboard at first after the throwing air from Julian. 7-0 YD here in the 7th. Wold's 0 for 3, but he has a sac fly with an RBI back in the 5th. The 1-1. Bounced right side, charging at the second baseman, Dunn. Shovels to second, 1. Servidio's throw to first, not in time. Wold able to avoid the double play. It was a softly hit bouncer to the right side, slowly developing, and Wold moves pretty well for a big man. 1 out as he reaches on the fielder's choice.
Number 25, Riley Toronto.
King forced out at second. Wold aboard at first, and now Riley Tirada. Tirada 0 for 1, hitting from the right side. Came in as a pinch runner for Tate Samuelson in the 4th. He would come around to score as the pinch runner. Struck out in his only plate appearance. First pitch. Misses low on a fastball. 91 on the radar gun from Witten. Wold on base for the first time today. Witten peeks over his shoulder twice at him. Now the 1-0. Fouled back by Tirada. Took a big cut on the fastball. 1-1. Brad Beasley on deck for YD. Looking to tack on some extra runs. Leading 7-0 here in the 7th. Tirada, known for his good glove over at third, in at first base tonight. The 1-1. Breaking ball just off the plate away. 2 balls and a strike.
It's a really good take there from Riley Tirada. That's a pitch that earlier in the season when he was struggling at the plate more, that's a pitch he swings at.
Orleans, red hot right now, leading Chatham 4-0 in the top of the 4th. Firebirds have already won 5 straight. The 2-1. Tirada fouls it off his foot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He'll walk it off. That Orleans team is just on fire, Andre. It was so tight in the standings just a few days ago, but 5 straight wins reeled off by Orleans. They now lead the division by 3 points. A win today over Chatham would put them up 5 over the Anglers. YD looking to stay within 3 if they can hang on tonight against Hyannis, leading 7-0 in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, that win for Orleans tonight over Chatham, should they hold on, we'll see YD more solidified in that second place spot.
2-2, breaking ball, bounces in the dirt. It's blocked off the chest protector by McDaniel. Those 2 teams meet again tomorrow, but tonight it's at Veterans Field. You thought home field advantage, maybe Chatham would be able to get something. Still relatively early, top of the 4th there. Tomorrow they match up at Eldridge Park in Orleans on the 4th of July. These 2 teams here in Hyannis will head to South Yarmouth. Check on first. Wold is back safely. Good old Red Wilson tomorrow. 3-2 count to Tirada. 1 down, Wold on first. Witten delivers. Tirada skies at first base side, out of play.
Attention kids, these
Another
speed
3-2
pitches
pitch
up and
upcoming
running
from
behind the
Witten.
Press box behind home plate, 5 throws for $1. Find out how hard your fastball is.
Tirada steps back in. The Notre Dame football fan, Riley Tirada, says he can't wait for college football to get started again. Goes to Dayton. The 3-2. Misses down low. Ball 4. And Tirada's aboard. 1 out. Wold moves up to second. YD has men on first and second with one out. But Terada grew up in South Bend, right around the beautiful Notre Dame campus.
The center field from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, number 5, Brad
Says he
Beasley.
loves the Fighting Irish, but doesn't think they're ever going to compete in a college football playoff with the likes of Alabama and Clemson.
Tough being an independent.
Thinks they will continue to have great regular season records, but not get it done come bowl season. First pitch to Brad Beasley, called strike knee high, 0-1 to Beasley.
Here the Hyannis Harbor Cruises off in the distance blowing their horns.
Something extra with that one. Beasley's 0 for 3 at the plate. 0-1 count to him now. Here's the pitch from Witten. Misses low. It scoops past. Wold will take off and get to third. Terada moves up to second. Jake Palmer, you might have heard him immediately. As soon as he saw that squirt through, Wold didn't see it well. Palmer was yelling, yes, yes, move up, go for it. So now 2 men in scoring position with 1 down for YD. Here's the pitch to Beasley. Line drive down the right field line. It's off the glove of the diving Carlson. Trickles down the right field line. Wold scores. Here comes Terada. The throw to the plate. Not in time. Terada crosses standing up. Beasley cruises into second. It's an RBI double for Brad Beasley. Couple runs driven in for Beasley. His first extra base hit here in 2019. And YD extends their lead to 9-0 here with 1 out in the 7th.
The right field.
And this is what I talked about in the open. They must have heard me when I said I was looking to see what they were going to be able to get out of 6 through 9 in this order. Now, 4 runs total, a few base knocks. Jake Palmer having himself a day on base 3 times. Extra base hits from Beasley and Yeager in this one. That's exactly what Scott Pickler needed, so this lineup didn't start to become a very top-heavy one.
Now Jake Palmer, like you mentioned, Andre, having a really good day at the plate. First pitch inside, and it hits Palmer. He has been on base all 4 times today. Couple of walks, a hit by pitch, and a single as well for Palmer. And he's aboard again here in the 7th.
Huge day for the on-base percentage for the Anteater.
The second base from Mercer, number 17, R.J. Yeager.
Now the 9-man due up, R.J. Yeager. Yeager, 2 for 3. He doubled and scored in the 6th. It was a bouncing ball at the shortstop, Servideo, that took a wild hop and scooted into left center in the 6th. Such a wild hop that it was ruled a double as Yeager, running hard out of the box, cruised into second. First pitch to Yeager, bounces it foul. 0-1. Great speed on the bases here with Beasley on second, Palmer on first. 9-0 Red Sox here in the top of the 7th. There's 1 down. Really pouring it on the Harbor Hawks tonight. Witten from the stretch sets. Now the 0-1. Fastball, foul tip, in and out of the glove of McDaniel behind the plate. 0-2 now to Yeager. Lights starting to take some effect here at McKeon Park. The 0-2. Fouled back by Yeager. Right up above our heads. Still 0-2. A couple other scores from around the Cape League. I mentioned that Orleans leads Chatham 4-0 in the 4th. Brewster topped Harwich today, so the Mariners have really cooled off. 7-5 in Stony Brook. Brewster keeps pace in the East. 0-2 to Yeager. Fouled back again out of play, that time a breaking ball. Falmouth looking to win their 2nd straight. They lead Katuitt 4-1 in the top of the 7th. Katuitt currently atop the table in the West. Wareham looking to retake the top spot in the West. If they can beat Bourne and Falmouth stays atop Katuitt, Wareham will repass the Kettleers. Wareham currently leads Bourne 7-1. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, Yeager throws his bat at it, flares it first base side over the Red Sox dugout and out of play. So YD and Hyannis, the only interdivisionary matchups tonight. Nine to nothing YD over Hyannis. Harbor Hawks in danger of losing their third straight ball game. Harwich has now lost 4 straight. They are all of a sudden deep in the basement of the Eastern Division, 5 points back of Brewster. Another 0-2 to Yeager, another foul ball. This time it caught a piece of Frank Auditore. The home plate umpire. Yeager battling with 2 strikes, 0-2. Seems like we're finally getting some separation in the East, though, Andre, with Orleans getting really hot. Harwich struggled over the last week or so. Chatham and YD and Brewster kind of being in the middle of that pack right now.
It was interesting. You look back to when Harwich and YD played about a week ago, pre-Fenway.
Another 0-2. Yeager fouls it back again.
And there was that point in which they had the bases loaded and were unable to score. And we talked about it in context of that game as a potentially huge moment at the time, and it ultimately did prove to be that way. But that sort of started this skid for them.
Since then, they have been really cold. It was the bottom of the 5th against Jack Leftwich. Pitching again tonight for YD. The 0-2 misses down. Quite the battle here for RJ Yeager. But with the bases loaded and 2 outs, Yeager induced a 4-3 ground out to Gavin Dugas to end the frame. Here's the 1-2 to Yeager. Swing and a miss. Witten finally wins the battle. It's a strikeout of RJ Yeager. Yeager set down swinging for the second time today. Now there's 2 outs in the 7th. But you're right, that's a potentially season-turning job by the Mariners that they could not drive in any runs in that frame. YD goes on to win. Harwich has been ice cold since then.
Yeah, and you think about it in context of that game. First, Buddy Hayward, who was twirling an absolute gem, going stride for stride, 0 for 0 with Leftwich, has to take himself out of the game due to some discomfort. The Red Sox immediately sort of take control of that game. They strand the bases loaded shortly thereafter. And that's the kind of thing where any sort of momentum you have can be brought to a screeching halt.
At the time, Harwich was 6-6. They now fall to well below 500 tonight. They fall to 7-11. First pitch misses inside to Dugas. Pinch hitting here for Wyatt Young. Eric Tolman on deck as well for YD. So some changes here for Picking Company. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. The 1-0 called strike knee high to Dugas, 1-1. So including that loss in the game against Harwich, the Mariners are 1-5 since they played YD just less than a week ago, really spiraling a bit. Beasley on second, Palmer first. 2 down for the Red Sox. They lead at 9-0. Top of the 7th inning. Witten with the 1-1. Dugas takes a called strike. It was a breaking ball from Witten, 1-2. Pick taking the opportunity, leading by 9 late in this one to get a couple other batters to get some swings. Tolman, the 2-way man, currently on deck. The 1-2 bounced on a 1-hop back to the pitcher Witten. Takes a few steps, tosses to first, and Dugas bounces out to end the 7th. YD gets 2 more runs in the top of the 7th on a double by Brad Beasley. They lead at 9-0. It's stretch time here in Hyannis. 9-0 Red Sox. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The people here at McKeon Park have stretched as we are back for the bottom of the 7th inning. Jacob Winger on for his 2nd inning of work for Scott Pickler as he delivers a first pitch fastball in there for a called strike to the pinch hitter Bryce Teodosio. The 0-1. Squibbed foul. That one got a piece of Teodosio, and he's walking it off, taking some inventory. 9-0 our score here as the Red Sox have scored in the last 4 trips to the plate. They got 3 in the first, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 2 in the last inning in the 7th. 0-2 count now to Teodosio as we have a host of defensive changes for YD. Austin Wells moves from behind the dish out to left field. In his place now in the battery is Noah Cardenas. Gavin Dugas stays in the game and plays second base. Wyatt Young's day is done as he exits the game from short. RJ Yeager moves from second to short as Teodosio is down swinging on the off-speed pitch, and that's the first out of the inning. Eric Tolman, who was set to pinch hit, he was waiting in the on-deck circles to pinch hit for Noah Campbell. He enters the game in right field. And as far as the batting order is concerned, Tolman will stay in that second hole, and Cardenas will step into Brad Beasley's spot, whose day is done in the 7th hole. Jake Palmer takes over in center field. That one's roped into right center field, and very quickly calling to action is Austin Wells over in the left center field gap. And he'll make the catch as Julian gave it a ride, and that's the 2nd out of the inning.
The catcher from Missouri, number 38, Chad McDaniel.
So Winger working very quickly. And now the 8-hole hitter, Chad McDaniel from Mizzou, steps in, 0 for 2 on the day. I was a little bummed as I was doing my prep for this game, Brian, that I was hoping we were going to be able to see former Penn State great Christian Hackenberg's brother.
Yeah,
behind the
Adam
dish.
Hackenberg. He was good at Penn State, especially as a freshman. It went downhill for Christian from there. But
line drive fielded by Riley Terada at first, and it's a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Winger. We are through 7 full here at McKeon Park. 9-0 our score. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Leading off the 8th inning for
Top of the 8th inning here,
Arizona
9-0
State,
Red Sox.
number 10, Eric Tolman.
Got a Sun Devil, a Wildcat, and a Bulldog here. Due up for the Red Sox, 2, 3, and 4 as Eric Tolman, who was waiting in the on-deck circle, set to take his first hacks of the game in lieu of Noah Campbell. He takes the first pitch downstairs for a ball 1-0. Tolman, of course, two-way player at Arizona State. We've seen him on the mound and used occasionally in the field as well, DHing, now playing right. So that one's spiked in, and it's quickly 2-0. Hitters counting for Eric Tolman.
How jealous do you think the entire bullpen is that Tolman is both hitting right now and getting to play the outfield?
Oh, I'm sure. You know, this is a bullpen unit that has a lot of fun out there. And for Tolman to be able to take some hacks in the batter's box, and justifiably so, as he ropes one the other way into left field. And that is going to just tick off the glove of his teammate, Trevor Hauver, coming in trying to rob him there. So Eric Tolman is aboard. They will score that a hit.
Would have been a great catch by Hauver. I think the entire bullpen would have liked Hauver to make the catch. Because John Beller and company were talking quite a bit of trash. We asked Beller in an interview on Fenway Day who the best hitting pitcher is, and he said anybody but Tolman. So they all then took batting practice later that week after a shutout, tried to back it up.
Austin Wells in the box for his 5th at-bat of the day. Swings and fires the first pitch foul, 0-1.
Of course, then Boyd Vanderkoy was deemed the winner of pitcher batting practice. He launched a ball to way gone, and Red Wilson out in left center.
Austin Wells, of course, the 3-run home run in the first and doubled and scored a run back in the 5th. The 0-1 is a breaking ball outside, 1-1. So the pitchers have gotten their round of BP, potentially on their way to another round as we're still working on a shutout.
Fingers crossed. Not much more fun than pitcher BP.
The only thing more fun than pitcher BP would be intern BP.
I thought you might say that, yeah.
Whenever we can get it. I really, really want intern BP.
See, the thing is about that is we might end up having to throw to each other, and I don't trust any of us to throw strikes.
2-1 the count now to Austin Wells. Oh, my goodness, and that one hit the head of Kyle Witten, and he is down immediately.
Line drive off the bat of Wells.
That ball was absolutely smoked.
It was one of those that everybody just stopped, and just immediate thoughts go out to Witten on the mound.
The crowd here at McKeon Park fell absolutely silent as they're gathered around him on the mound. And Brian, the ball ricocheted easily 30, 40 feet after striking him.
Into right field. That's how hard that ball was hit. And it was one of those where Wells hit it. It goes and hits Kyle Witten. It looked like in the side of the head. Just continued up in the air. It kept rising into right field, and everybody stopped. Wells stopped running to first. Tolman stopped running to second, and you just immediate thoughts go out to Kyle Witten out on the mound.
The trainers are out at the pitcher's mound examining him, and you have to imagine, as we see a Hyannis representative on the phone, you have to imagine they're going to be getting an ambulance here as well.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break, and we will be back. Our thoughts and well wishes go out to Kyle Witten and his family right now. We'll be right back. And we are back here at McKeon Park, and some positive signs as Kyle Witten was able to sit up shortly after we went to break, and then a few minutes after that was able to stand up under his own power and walk off the field, which is always what you want to see. There is an ambulance on scene for him, so we wish him all the best. But there is a baseball game to be played and a baseball game to be finished, and Riley King is now in the box, runners on first and second, as he waves at the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Eric Tolman led off the inning with a single, followed by the Austin Wells base hit. The 0-1 pitch to King. It's a breaking ball spun in there, and it's 0-2. The new arm for the Harbor Hawks is Tyler Drabick, 6'3", 205-pound righty out of Kent State from North Canton, Ohio. He'll step off. His completely new battery is also Hunter Goodman now behind the plate, relieving Chad McDaniel. Thought we were going to get Adam Hackenberg as soon as we mentioned him, but alas, was only there to warm the pitcher up. The 0-2 pitch is inside for a ball, 1-2. And of course, my partner, Brian McLaughlin, a Penn State student.
Never was a student with Hackenberg in college. Luckily enough for me, I've had Trace McSorley my whole career. And I say luckily enough because of the great success that Trace has had. Now Sean Clifford under the helm this year for Penn State.
1-2 is downstairs, and the count will even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But I was a Penn State football fan, of course, when Adam Hackenberg's brother Christian was the quarterback. And Christian, the 5-star, #1 quarterback recruit in the country, looked to be a surefire Hall of Fame quarterback under Bill O'Brien. A pro-style quarterback coach. Then Bill O'Brien left for the NFL after 1 year of tutelage.
Riley King unable to check his swing, and that's the first out of the inning.
Tough one for King. He knew he went around, but that's the first out. Back to just the Hackenberg story.
Of course.
He then ended up, he first of all was such a meaningful player to the program as he was one of the first big-time recruits to commit to the program after the Jerry Sandusky scandal. So really meant a lot for Penn State in that sense. And then his great year as a freshman, started as a true freshman, was the year following that scandal. And Penn State football never dipped below a 500 record throughout all of those sanctions and everything that went on, in a big part because of Hackenberg and his leadership. Of course, now his brother, great year as a freshman at Clemson and really athletic family. Adam, the big-time baseball recruit, his brother Brandon is actually a starting defensive back on Penn State's soccer team. So there's a little bit of everything. 3 different sports, 3 D1 athletes for the Hackenberg family. Of course, Christian's career was then derailed because of the lack of offensive line and James Franklin needing a dual-threat quarterback at Penn State. Tutelage there for Hackenberg kind of went downhill. He probably would have been better off for his own career, honestly, to transfer. But ended up staying around and led Penn State to a couple good seasons, even though his personal success never took off with the profile that he had. But really athletic family, and Brandon's had a good year at Penn State as a starter, and now Adam here just is looking to be a potential monster baseball player and maybe the best of the 3 of the brothers.
Hey, Sam. Not Sam.
Sam Hall now up at the plate. He flares a weak pop-up on the first base side. Brooks Carlson will settle underneath it, and that's the second out of the inning. So Riley Terada now
The next batter
will step in.
Number 25, Riley Terada.
Came in after Tate Samuelson was hit by a pitch, caught off the ear flap of the helmet and caught him near the eye. He scored twice. First pitch to him is skipped in the dirt, and it's 1-0. Tyler Drabick looking to retire all 3 that he faces here in YD's half of the 8th inning. 1-0 pitch to Terada. It's downstairs at the shins, 2-0. You can just feel the different energy in the air here at McKeon Park as everyone's still a little bit stunned by Witten being struck by the Austin Wells line drive.
Yeah, combination of that, the ball, that play, and it's also a 9-0 game here in the 8th inning. Crowd's thinned out a bit. Game seems to be out of reach for the home Harbor Hawks here, so just kind of a weird vibe around the stadium right now.
Dusk is beginning to fall here over Cape Cod. Lights taking more of an effect as that one comes in and hits Terada. And the bases will be loaded. So after replacing someone that got hit by a pitch, Riley Terada hit by a pitch in his own right.
Number 8, Noah Cardenas.
And Noah Cardenas will step in now with the bases loaded.
Cardenas getting his first chance at it today, and he hits the ball really hard. Looking to continue his hot start for YD.
He's hitting in the place of Brad Beasley in the 7 hole. Getting his first at-bat of the day as he looks at an off-speed pitch downstairs, 1-0. 9-0 our score. The Red Sox with 9 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. The Harbor Hawks still with the goose egg on the scoreboard. No runs on just 2 hits in this one, 1 error. And that one comes in and hits Cardenas.
All right. Got anybody else on there?
So that'll force in a run as Tolman comes all the way around. And after 2 quick outs, Drabick has lost his control.
Definitely lost his command here, and it's just one of those deals where he's not trying to give up runs. He's not trying to hit these guys. It's just there is a loss of command. And now a guy who got hit by a pitch his last time up, Palmer, although that was on a breaking ball that Palmer made no attempts to lean out of the way of.
And an applause from the crowd as we see Kyle Witten being wheeled by the EMTs to the ambulance. And again, our thoughts and well wishes are with him. Palmer now with the bases loaded and 2 down. The count is even at 1-1.
Palmer trying to continue his great day. He's reached all 4 times, 1 hit, a couple of walks, the hit by a pitch. You've said it. The on-base percentage up there for Jake today.
So 4 YD hitters have been hit by a pitch in this one. That, of course, to also go along with 5 walks. So 9 free passes. And this is what I talked about in the open. Against a team like this, you can't afford to just give free bases out. Palmer skies one off the left-hand side, and there's the first 3rd of July firework we've heard today.
Yeah, I was wondering when we might get some of those as the crowd, or as the sun set and darkness started to fill. I figured we'd get a couple, at least off in the distance.
Bases loaded here, 2 down. Jake Palmer stands in, been on base every single time he's come to the plate in this one. Drabick shakes off a sign, now gets set to deliver out of the windup. Here's the pitch. And it's high and wide, and the count runs full.
Palmer's not going to chase. You're going to have to throw him a strike. He's shown that today, and just he has a great eye. He's going to get on base and draw his walks.
Wells is on 3rd. Terada's on 2nd. Cardenas is on 1st as more fireworks now as they'll all get a head start. And it's ball 4, and Austin Wells will trot home to make it 11-0 Red Sox.
Drabix lost his command on the mound, that's for sure. Palmer, as I said, was never going to extend. It's an RBI walk for him as he's been on base all 5 times today. So a really nice day for him at the plate. He's seeing the ball well. It's a good sign there. Now Yeager with a chance to continue what's been a good day for him. A couple of hits already.
RJ Yeager, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts as he looks at the off-speed pitch, and Drabik can't find the strike zone. It's 1-0. 11-0 now. It's now 5 straight innings with the run. That one high and tight to Yeager, and it's 2-0. Once again, the Hyannis bullpen is working. It's a lefty this time. Can't quite make out the number. 2-0 to Yeager. That one's roped on a line over the head of Servideo, and that'll be a base hit and an RBI as Terada comes in to score. The Red Sox going station to station as this game's already well out of reach, and it's now 12-0.
Everybody's getting their licks up there today. Good day for Yeager. 3 for 5. Now a couple of RBIs, a double in there on a ground ball, really, but that's a clean hit for RJ, so something to feel good about.
So the bottom of the order so far, combination of Samuelson and Terada with 3 runs, a walk and 2 hit by pitches. Beasley had himself a double, and that's one. It's going to be caught in right field by Rigsby Mosley, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. So Dugas flies out to right field. The Red Sox push 3 across. In the visiting half of the 8th, we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Their score is 12-0 Red Sox on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Home half of the 8th inning as the crowd continues to thin out here at McKeon Park. The sun has all but set, a faint orange glow off to our left.
The first baseman, Sanford, number 14, Brooks Carlson.
Brooks Carlson steps in, was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat before striking out in the 5th. Shatters his bat on the first pitch, and he'll have to get a new piece of lumber.
See you tomorrow. Big day.
Winger has pitched well.
I can get it sold. I'm good at it.
Carlson back in the box with a fresh stick.
Now pressure's on Winger here to keep the pitcher BP in order, really. He's got to try to keep the shutout going.
0-2 pitch is fouled back off the mask of Cardenas. Quickly 0-2 now to the 9-hole hitter Carlson. The 0-2. Waved that miss on the off-speed pitch. And that's quickly the first out of the inning.
Winger's been really good. You get it's a lineup that has struggled this season. You're up big in this one, but he's still gotten outs, gotten swings and misses. It's now 4 strikeouts since he's come in the 6th and has only allowed one man to reach on a walk.
So the matchup that we built to you in the open has played out exactly as it looks on paper, with the YD offense hanging a bunch of crooked numbers in this one en route to a 12-0 rout so far, and the YD pitching staff, which was really looking for a bounce-back opportunity, shutting down an already feeble Hyannis offense.
Definitely a strength against weakness matchup in the Hyannis Arms against the YD Bats. They showed that today. Now it'll be interesting to see how Hyannis rebounds tomorrow.
2-0 pitch is waved at and missed. It's 2-1. Servideo has played a solid game at shortstop defensively. Dealt with that, had to deal with the tough hop there on the RJ Yeager double, but other than that, has played a very clean game. 2-0 pitch is low and away, and it's now 3-1. 3-1 now the count. So that one's just a bit wide, and it's a walk for Servideo, his second of the day.
Winger just got to be in the zone, throwing strikes, looking for some soft contact here, I think, at this point.
The next batter is second baseman from Louisville.
A game that's really slowed down pace-wise.
Approaching 3 hours from first pitch. Time is 8:50 local. 6 o'clock was first pitch in this one. Lucas Dunn now steps in. He's 0 for 3. The first pitch is high. Dunn, the Louisville Cardinals, grounded to third, struck out, and then grounded to short. 1-0.
There you go, Jake.
Big swing and a miss from Dunn as he holds the follow through, and it's 1-1. Most scouts in attendance have also vacated and perhaps going to other games, or they've seen what they came here to see.
Couple still in action. Orleans Chatham definitely still up for grabs. 4-2 Orleans top 6. So that's a game over Veterans Field.
Four of the 5 games still in action here on Cape Cod tonight. The 2-1 pitch is spoiled foul off the right-hand side, and it's 2-2.
That's
Foul.
probably a great game over there in Orleans and Chatham, if
Oh,
I
yeah.
had to guess. 4-2, close. Veterans Field, a great atmosphere. July 3rd, and I'm sure it's plenty of fans.
Packed
Beautiful
house.
night. Yeah. Hopefully no fog at Veterans tonight.
So there's that game happening right now as Dunn fouls another one. Also, Falmouth has opened up now a 6-1 lead over Katuitt. That one at Gov Fuller Field. Of course, this game 12-0. And the Gatemen up 7-2 on their Western Division rival Bourne Braves. The Bravos continue to have offensive struggles this season. That one fouled straight back to the backstop, rolls all the way towards first. Serrato will go and scoop it up.
Doesn't help. They had a couple of their big bats get taken to Team USA. Alika Williams, the shortstop, taken from those Braves.
Still 2-2, one down here in the inning. That one's grounded. That'll go through the hole on the right side, and that's a base hit. So, for the first time since the 5th, the Harbor Hawks have a runner reach scoring position.
Number 10, Trevor Hauber.
And there's first and second with one down here, and Trevor Hauber steps in.
How about a little double play ball here?
Infield is at double play depth. Yeager shaded over towards the bag.
Come on, Jake.
Jared DeSantelo in the box. That one on the ground to third. King struggled to get it out of his glove. They'll get the out at second base, but that'll be it on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, you said it, Riley. Just got caught up a bit in the leather, but able to get one, which is important there. It was slowly hit ball, and Hoffer was booking it down the line, so I doubt they get two, even if that's a
So
clean
that's
turn around the horn there at
Number one,
second.
Garrett
But now 2
DeSanto.
outs. But Hyannis, this is their first real scoring opportunity. They did have a man on third base in the fifth, but Jack Leftwich was really in command that entire time.
Jared DeSantelo steps in now from Florida Atlantic. And if you are Hyannis, this is the guy you want up in the situation. Obviously, a bit futile here with a 12-run deficit, but still. He swings at the first pitch and skies at foul 0-1. Tied for the team lead with 11 walks on the year. Been really the lone bright spot for this Hyannis ball club that has struggled mightily. Now more than a 2-1 run deficit. That one pushes back to the feet of DeSantelo, and it's 1-1. This game has crawled to a snail's pace despite the zeros put up, reminiscent of the loss for this Red Sox team at Chatham a couple days ago. Yes, he did, says home plate umpire Frank Auditory, and it's 1-2.
I'd go back with the breaking ball again. That seemed to be working in this inning for Winger. But you're right, reminiscent of that game against Chatham, but nice little bounce back here for YD. Builds the confidence back up.
1-2. Does go with the breaking ball. And we can wave goodbye to pitcher BP as their video comes in to score, and it's 12-1 YD. So at last, the 0 is off the scoreboard, and on the back end, Hover moves up to second base on the pass ball. 2-2. Breaking ball that misses wide, and it's now 3-2. So now, first run of the ball game for Hyannis. Came in the 8th inning. It's now 12-1. Got 3 hits in this one. And DeSantelo will take a walk. So the walk total goes up to 12, and Winger will face another batter.
I don't know if he will. Pick might say, I'm going to bring in somebody else. Looks like that might be Corrigan trotting in.
It will be Brady Corrigan, the Sun Devil, as Winger unable to get out of the 8th inning. We will take a quick break as Corrigan will get his warm-up tosses in. 2 down here in the 8th inning. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. So Corrigan is in to try to stop this two-out rally of sorts by Hyannis. He comes in and will face Rowdy Jordan. With
Rowdy
two down
Jordan, that's one of the better names in the league so far. This is a relatively good name team. You're talking names yesterday, TJ and I on the broadcast.
And first pitch is smoked, but Terada over there will field it to his left, and that'll end the inning. So Corrigan throws one pitch and gets the Red Sox out of the jam. It's 12-1 here from McKeon Park. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
From Arizona State, number 10, Eric
So
Coleman.
Eric Tolman's set to lead things off. His second at-bat of the day to lead off the ninth inning. He looks about a first pitch strike from the new pitcher, Mitch McIntyre out of BYU.
McIntyre's been one of the best arms for these Harbor Hawks. 3 innings, only 3 appearances, 5 innings.
And it's very quickly 0-2 to Tolman.
He's only allowed just 1 earned run in his work so far this season. Also a hitter.
Listed as an outfielder on point string. Brian and I got excited, thought we were going to have another position player pitching a la the game against Chatham, in which Drew Swift, Riley Terada, Tate Samuelson all saw time on the mound.
I was excited, that's for sure.
We were fired up on the broadcast, TJ and I. An emphatic firework to acknowledge that it's ball 1. 1-2 to Tolman. Steps back in. Open stance from the left side. Breaking ball fouled back to the screen. And the count holds at 1-2. We have now eclipsed the 3-hour mark in this one. YD with 12 runs on 12 hits. The 1-2 pitch. Downstairs for a ball 2-1. YD got the scoring started courtesy of an Austin Wells 3-run home run in the first after Wyatt Young and Noah Campbell reached. They then were held scoreless in the second and the third before scoring 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh, and then 3 in the eighth. Tolman continues to battle The count still is 2-2.
Now it's guys like Tolman, though, who is a two-way guy. He's probably had more success so far in his career as a pitcher than a hitter, but can swing it. He's making some adjustments, really working in BP. This is his time to really put in those game reps.
So it's two-way player versus two-way player here. The matchup you rarely see.
I would say it's something you could only see in college, but I can't wait to see Mr. McKay in Tampa and Shohei Ohtani match up. A couple American League guys, two-way pitcher and hitters.
2-2. Fouled off again. Tolman's in a battle here. This next pitch will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Andrew Eister, the only player that hasn't played in this one, waits on deck. Just seems a little wrong that you could bring a guy like Andrew Eister off the bench. Tolman rakes one high and deep and off the top of the scoreboard. Out in right center field, hit just above the name Judy in Judy Walden Scarafio Field. That ball was smoked. Tolman's first of the year. And it's 13-1. Whitey gets the run back.
We knew he had some power. That was a tank.
I was speechless.
Good for Eric Tolman. That was a majestic one. Austin Wells hit a home run to left field earlier. Tolman, that was light tower power.
So Eister now steps in. First pitch to Eister is a called strike. Eister now waits the 0-1, and it's a called strike 0-2. So a Tolman moonshot extends the lead back to 12 as he just waited on that hanging breaking ball and got every bit of it. That one fouled and then off the light pole into the trees, and count holds at 0-2.
It's just been a weird night.
It has. Some unfortunate moments, of course, with Samuelson taking a pitch off of the face, and then, of course, Kyle Witten with the unfortunate moment after taking the line drive off the bat of Austin Wells. But independent of those, it's just been.
RJ Yeager hit a two-hopper to short that goes down as an RBI
double.
It's things like that have just. There have been a lot
Four
of things.
hit by pitches.
10th pitch of an at-bat. Tolman with a no-doubter.
Eister watches the curveball inside, spits on it, and it's 1-2.
If we're at Red Wilson, do you think that home run from Tolman hits that house?
That is definitely nearing the houses that are beyond the tree line.
I think if it's online, that would have hit the house at Red Wilson.
I would agree. This was the type of power that Tolman put on display at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, and you hit one deep out of Muni as Eister goes down looking on the fastball for the first out of the inning. And I was there when Eric Tolman hit a couple of home runs in the same game, in a midweek game, and neither of those were cheapies at all. Those were some moonshots there. So you know the left-handed power is there, especially to the pull side, and he put it all on display. Probably going back in the dugout and telling Pickler, hey, one, it's working, what you're telling me. Two, you got to hit me more. Riley King now steps in for his 6th at-bat of the day. Single and reached on an error in this one. 1 for 5. And he has his 2nd hit of the game. It's a single through the 5.5 hole. And it's a runner on here with 1 down in the 9th.
We're receiving word that on the home run for Tolman, they also were giving him the silent treatment in the dugout as well. So a little bit of razzing from his own teammates. But I'm sure he's going to go right up to John Beller the next time he sees Mr. Beller and says, hey, that's the worst hitting pitcher, huh?
Certainly making a statement is Eric Tolman.
2 for 2, a couple of runs, and a no-doubter.
He's had his best offensive day in a Red Sox uniform. First pitch to Sam Hall. See, looks at it downstairs, 1-0. So you're looking down at the scorebook, Brian, and there's so much going on here, and yours is color-coded, so it's even more
Yeah, I go the highlighter route.
chaotic.
It's all over the place.
Sam Hall skies one down the right field line. Mosley was playing him to pull. It's a long run, and that one will get down just foul.
That was a weird pop-up down the first base line from Hall. Off the bat, looked like it might have been a fair ball. Hall didn't move as if he knew the whole time it was landing foul. Then the last second, it kind of started tailing off foul, and sure enough, drops as a foul ball.
Had some English on it for sure. Tirado waits on deck. Hall steps back in after the awkward strike number 1. 1-1 the count. The Red Sox have scored in every inning except for the second and the third. Riley King on first. Hall over the top of an off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2. Grounded up the middle. This could be 2. 1, 6, 3, and the Harbor Hawks are out of the inning. Hall grounds into the inning double play, but not before Eric Tolman sends one into the stratosphere. That might be orbiting McKeon Park right now.
If we didn't see it hit the scoreboard, I would agree.
So we head to the bottom of the ninth. The Harbor Hawks getting their last cuts in this one, down 12. Score 13-1. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Final half inning here from McKeon Park as Brady Corrigan on to close this one out. First pitch is downstairs for a ball, 1-0. It's Rigsby Mosley to lead things off. He chops it towards the Whitey dugout. Or excuse me, the Hyannis dugout.
Actually, pinch hitter Bryce Teodosia.
You are correct. It is Bryce Teodosia. My mistake.
Took me for a second. Had to check the roster. Wait, that's not Mosley.
And he skies one into shallow left center field. Palmer's racing in, and he'll make the catch on the run for the first out of the inning.
I want to see Tolman make a great catch in right.
Oh, yeah.
He's hit the home run. Somebody test him. Somebody test him in right.
Either that or I need an outfield assist. Let's
show it off.
Have him gun someone at second to really complete the two-way player trifecta.
I think of like if you robbed a home run or a diving catch, though, like show off the athleticism. We've seen the power. We know he has the arm.
First pitch is a called strike, 0-1. Edward Julian looks at a ball. It's now 1-1. Corrigan being used in a variety of roles this season in his multiple appearances. It's now 1-2. This time on a bit of mop-up duty, just seeing this one out. It's hard to see a 12-run, 13-run Hyannis comeback here.
Yeah, I would say that would be we'd be in for quite the night if that were to happen.
Already at about 3 hours, 15 minutes. If that were to happen, we'd probably be here for 4.5. So that one's grounded and it'll trickle foul on the first baseline. Toronto with another impressive stab down there.
I'm telling you, he's great at third. Throw him over there at first. But if Hyannis were to come back and score 5+ unanswered, it would get to exactly 12 unanswered. They'd tie it, and we'd see extras. There's no chance they would score more or less if they started to come back here.
2-2s, absolutely ripped into left center field. Eister will make the grab, and it's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, the scorebook's messy.
It is really messy.
Number 23, Hunter Goodman.
Normally, it's just messy because my handwriting's terrible. But tonight, it's just there's been so many substitutions. I've had to erase. I've had to scratch things out.
My eraser has been put to work in this game.
It's humid out, too, so the scorebook's pages are, like, kind of damp.
Yep. That one is skied about a mile high. King's coming in. He'll squeeze it. Had to do the pop-up dance for a little bit. And Corrigan goes 1-2-3 to end this one. Well, this game had pretty much everything. A little bit of tragedy, some exciting offense, some great pitching. In the end, it is a 13-1 victory for the Whitey Red Sox. The game goes officially 3 hours, 16 minutes. Jack Leftwich gets the win.
How about that? I feel like it was forever ago we saw him on the mound.
Yeah.
That's a good outing for Jack Leftwich.
Not to be lost in all of this was Jack Leftwich's start today. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, just the 1 walk, 5 strikeouts in this one. Really set the tone for the Whitey pitching staff that looks to regain its confidence. I was talking to Cullen Kafka after the game yesterday, and he said the biggest thing for this pitching staff they talked about was just reestablishing an identity. They've done that between the game yesterday against Wareham and then tonight against Hyannis. They'll look to do it again against Hyannis tomorrow. But Brian, in a game that really had everything tonight, what stood out to you?
The Whitey offense and how top to bottom they got it done. The only spot in the order that didn't score a run is the Riley King spot, but he had 2 hits in the game. So it's not even like he had a bad offensive performance. So really, I think top to bottom, how great the offense was. From Jake Palmer's patience approach, he had 3 walks, a hit by pitch, and a single, to the power from Austin Wells on the home run and Eric Tolman on his home run. Wyatt Young continues to get it done at the top spot in the order, top to bottom, and nobody was doing it in trying to do too much. Everybody was doing it in their way, and nobody was really struggling at the plate. Everybody got good hacks in tonight. It's a good, solid win for the offense, and just a great win for this Whitey team, and the confidence is there now for the offense. All these guys are swinging it well. I think that's a big key for them. Guys at the bottom of the order, R.J. Yeager had 3 hits. Just top to bottom, how great the offense was. And like you said, Jack Leftwich, really strong again on the mound. Not to be lost in all this was his great start.
In the end, the offense got 3 hits from Austin Wells, 3 hits from R.J. Yeager, 2 hits from Riley King, 2 hits from Eric Tolman off the bench. It was a very even game for this YD offense, as we said, top to bottom. We talked about it in the open. What kind of production can 6 through 9 provide in this one? Well, they provided a whole bunch for this Red Sox team. That'll do it here from McKeon Park. Final score 13-1. These two teams will do it again at Red Wilson tomorrow in South Yarmouth. We'll catch you there. It'll be 4th of July. We hope you had a good time. We enjoyed bringing you this game. For Brian McLaughlin, I'm Andre Sims. Thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow at Red Wilson Field.